Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes. I'm back with another Legacy video featuring Psychic Frog and Uro and Baleful Strix. That's right, I swapped out the Orcish Bowmasters in my Bug Frog deck for Baleful Strix because I've been encountering a ton of control decks and aggro decks in the leagues lately, and I think that's a good thing because it means that rescaminator is not as dominant as it used to be. You don't have to worry about games ending turn 2, so you can play a little bit longer of a game. So this is like a kind of a mid-rangey deck. We still have 4 Tamiyo, Inquisitive Student who flips over into Seasoned Scholar for Planeswalker value, and we still have 2 Brazen Borrowers, and I'm still playing a ton of removal. I'm playing a Shielder's Edict, a Dismember. I'm playing 4 Fatal Pushes. These are very good against opposing frogs. And I'm playing 2 Witherbloom commands, which can kill X1s, notably Orcish Bowmasters, which is probably the biggest Achilles heel of this deck, because if you look, we're drawing a lot of cards. Baleful Strix draws a card. Psychic Frog draws cards. Tamiyo draws cards. Uro draws cards. So if a Bowmasters hits the table and we can't deal with it, we can be in problem town. Good news is Uro does gain life, so we can kind of offset that. And we do have counter magic. I'm still playing the 3 Dazes. I went down to just 1 Stifle here. I also went down to 3 Wasteland because there are a lot of Wastelands out there and we need our mana more than our opponent. So rather than trying to tempo them out by wasting their lands, I usually just use these to stop Urza's Sagas, to stop Cavern of Souls, to stop, for example, Planar Nexus, which unlocks a ton of mana in the 12-post deck. Potentially go after Cloud Posts, things like that with these. A Maze of Ith. But we're not generally going to be wasting willy-nilly. Instead, we're going to be holding our fire and just trying to develop. And I've got 2 Surveil lands here. I also have 9 fetches. That's right, 9 fetches. And I need to update these because I can't get my Bayou with Flooded Strand, so I'm going to go ahead and update that right now. Just give me 1 second. And we're going to go with all lands that can fetch green and black. So I can do that and do that. And I've got a Verdant Catacombs, a cool Old Border Verdant Catacombs. Eventually I want to update all these to Old Border because they look cooler, in my opinion. I'm still playing the basic island. So I think this is an extremely responsible 20 land mana base, and I think it's more responsible now that we're down to 3 Wastelands. I noticed that even a lot of dedicated tempo decks are only playing 3 Wastelands now, and I think that's totally fine and doable. Obviously, if you're, blue-red Delver variants, and you have 4 Dazes and you only need 1 mana to play the game to cast your Dragon Rage Chandler or your Delver of Secrets, I think it's totally fine to have 4 Wasteland, but I'm going to try 3. Sideboard, the only change is that because there are a lot more control decks, I added a Leovold, Emissary of Trest, to the sideboard. I think he's better than Narset because he triggers whenever Carpet of Flowers triggers. So it's very powerful. Like your opponent can't avoid it. Like when your opponent goes to their first main phase, if they have a Carpet of Flowers, it will necessarily trigger Leovold and you'll get to draw a card. It's very strong. The only other change I made was I added the 2nd Hydroblast. Painter seems very ascendant right now. I removed I actually moved one of my removal spells to the main board here. And so I'm still playing 3 Consigned to Memory for the Eldrazi Menace. I'm playing 2 Ground Seal in case I do run into Rescam or some graveyard strategy. This is also very good against lands because it stops them from being able to use Life from the Loam. And I'm playing 1 Nile Spell Bomb. 2 Carpets for the tempo matchups. This should be a lot of fun. Let's get to the games. I want to play a full 5 games as usual, and we're going to try to learn from my many mistakes that I'm likely to make. But I'm going to hopefully play tight and share every thought that enters my mind, and hopefully you'll learn a lot from these games. So enjoy. See you in round 1. All right, we are on the play in round 1 against a whip. This person has most recently been playing just straight up Scam. It's not a Rescam. That's great. Hopefully they are on this. They were on this 2 days ago. So they are playing Troll. They're playing Grief. But they're not going to do the crazy combo finish. They're actually playing a main deck Consigned to Memory, which is pretty cool. And they 5-0'd with this list. So we should take this seriously. Let's dive in. This is a great hand. I'm going to keep this for sure. I might start. I'm going to play out a fetch, and then I'm most likely going to just see what they do. Make sure they are still on this deck. They have played other decks. They were playing Eldrazi a few days before. They were playing Grixis Temples. They change every time. Yeah, this will be interesting. Mono green depths. Wow, they've got a lot of range. Okay, I'm just going to play out a fetch and I'll pass. And depending on what they do here, I'll either get like a basic island or I'll get a Surveillant, probably a Surveillant. Verdant Catacombs. Taiga. Interesting. I have no idea what they're on. Based on the composition of my hand, I think I do want to daze this. I'm going to get a Hedge Maze because I don't really worry about them wasting this, and I'll just get a little selection. I do want that land, and I'll just daze this. And if they do something crazy like Elvish Spirit Guide, okay, good. Yeah, I think with 2 dazes and with a force in my hand, it is worth dazing that. Normally, I would be reluctant to do so. Let's see what we can get here. Definitely want a second Psychic Frog. I think that's good. All right, so assuming that they don't untap and just start jamming Wastelands, I think we'll be able to... okay, so they're on a land strategy. Mulch. They're on... you know what? I think I'm going to force this. This generates too many cards. It's basically like a draw 3, draw 4. Yeah, I'll pitch Brainstorm here. And then next turn, I can daze, but I don't want to have another turn of like not playing anything. So now I can play out my Psychic Frog, and then I've got a daze up. I'm not sure if 8 Mulch, which is what this variant is often called, whether it plays. What's the card I'm thinking of? Whether it plays Wasteland. We will find out, though, if they waste this off for black. Mulch again. I am going to return this so I can deploy another Psychic Frog next turn. I'm feeling pretty good. Tabernacle. Okay, so we're going to have to use our Tabernacle here. Yep. Use our mana here to pay for Tabernacle. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and... So... I'm going to take a quick excursion of like, have they ever played Mulch before? This Mono Green Depths. I don't think this is the same deck. 4 Mulch, 4 Winding Way, Vexing Bobble. I mean, let's see. They do have a Taiga in the deck, so this might be the similar deck. Okay, but I don't see, I see 4 Wasteland. That's dangerous. Lair of the Hydra. So their win condition, how they really win is Dark Depths. They don't even have Urza Saga or anything. They're not playing any Mox Diamonds. Yeah. So, are they playing Maze of Ith? They're playing 3 Mazes of Ith. Okay, so 3 Mazes of Ith means I'm not going to be pitching. In fact, I'm just going to start attacking. What I can do here with the Underground Sea. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll keep Stifle up, and then if they try to waste me, I can Stifle that. Now, there's definitely an argument for playing faster here. I think we have to let this resolve. Let's see the damage. 4 cards enter the exile zone. 1 ring. Okay, Besejus. Okay, so they got 2 lands off of that. They got a Maze of Ith, which is kind of what I was worried about. I'm going to go ahead and fetch my Surveil land, my blue-black Surveil land. See if I can surveil something good to the graveyard. Yeah, I don't want that. Okay, so what we're looking for is Wastelands here. All right, so upkeep. Okay, I'm going to pay 1. Yes, I don't like clicking through that. It's kind of terrifying to click through it in MTGO because I'm afraid I'm going to screw something up. There's nothing to target with this Witherbloom. I think it's better to go ahead and deploy the second frog, and then next turn, assuming we don't get wasted. I mean, there's a chance that I do flip a Wasteland here, and then that would be extremely good if I did flip a Wasteland. In worst case scenario, I can drain it for 2. I think I'm going to do that. We go black, green, Witherbloom command. I already played on my land for the turn, so I'm not going to be able to get the Maze of Ith this turn anyway. But I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm aware that they do play, you know, 1 cost spells. Like, okay, we didn't get it, but yeah, I'm going to take this island here just in case they start wastelanding me a bunch. Okay, and we can't play a land, so I'll just pass. Next turn, I can play a Psychic Frog, and I can even potentially stifle the Maze of Ith activation if I need to, which might be a good use of Stifle. Okay, so they've got a ton of mana now. They now have 5 mana available. They've got 5 lands in hand. The good news is none of my cards can be hit with one of the 2 Bow Seijus that they have in their hand. I'm just going to close these out. Okay, so I'll pay green here. Yes. Okay, let's draw a card. All right, we're drawing cards that we don't really need. Would I be okay with like cycling this Stifle for another card effectively? I think I am. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and attack in here. They're going to maze it. I'll stifle it so I can still connect. And then I am going to discard a card here. Should I discard a second card? I don't think so. I don't want to put too many counters on one frog with the maze out. I am going to get a card. What do we get? Force of Will is not bad at all. It almost kind of makes me want to hold, but I think it's wrong to hold. So I'm just going to play this out, and hopefully Force of will grab something later. Next turn, we're going to be able to attack with 2 creatures and hopefully do 2 damage and draw another. Oh, I guess we're not going to be able to attack with any creatures. That sucks. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and just tap these 2. Yes. It takes forever to get to click through this. Hope we don't go to town due to it. Dismember is pretty much a dead card here. I am going to play at the land just because I don't think the lands are useful pitching. I'm almost certainly going to pitch this Dismember though. It's just really a question of like how soon we can they assemble the combo. Oh, great. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to beat this. We would need to find a wasteland and recur it several times. We only have 3 wastelands in our deck. It's going to be very tricky to assemble a critical mass of threats that can get through 3 mazes. We're going to really just be sitting back and waiting for them to... yeah, and this shuts off Uro. Yeah. So I'm strongly considering just quitting this in the interest of time because I could totally run out of time here. Okay. They're making me choose a color. Okay. Yeah, this thing is just gobbling up time. Wasteland does clear the maze. The maze can potentially, or this. I'll just play this out, and then this can potentially stop. Yeah, I'm not going to bother attacking here. My thinking is if they try to clone like a Dark Depths, I can Wasteland in response, so they have to take an extra turn. This is going to take forever. I'm just going to concede. Okay, so that is kind of embarrassing, but that is what their deck does if it gets going. Like they were able to resolve one of those mazes. Yeah, we were drawing a land. So it was going to be a few turns before we could do anything. All right, so cards that come in. Ground Seal is very strong here because it shuts off Life from Loam. Now Spellbomb makes Life from Loam less good for sure. Leovold, I think, is actually going to be really good here because I think that was an excellent choice. Okay. Thanks for your input. Okay. So, not sure. I think these Force Negations can come in. I think they're good. I think Daze is bad, especially on the draw. So let's get rid of these. Deed, we saw they didn't have very many permanents to target here. Like aside from the Vexing Bauble. Baleful Strix is going to be atrocious. Actually, like I think all of our removal is going to be bad except for Shielders Edict. So I'm going to cut these completely, and that might free us with give us mana for days here. Unfortunately, let's see the One Ring. How many One Rings are they playing? They weren't playing any here. we can count. Okay, so interesting point about Consign to Memory. It does counter Dark Depths trigger, but it just keeps triggering basically until Depths goes out. So it doesn't actually stop this. So I don't think this is a good card. Their sideboard, Leyline, Force of Vigor, Dismember, Damping Sphere, Vexing Bubble. None of these really affect us at all. Dismember is the closest thing. I feel like Baleful Strix is just going to be terrible because it's going to cost us a lot of mana, but it's still better. Yeah, I'm going to bring these in. They don't have any creatures except for the Dark Depths. Basically, they just like lock down the game and then eventually get Dark Depths. I don't think they can even really turbo it. Like they could turbo it off crop rotation. Okay, so I think this is one of those stop. If you stop Life from the Loam, you stop their deck type matchups. Are there any other cards that are dead? I don't think Stifle's dead. They do have fetches in here. They don't have a lot. Let's see, do they have fetches? Yeah, they do. It's just not a lot. I think Stifle is nice just because it does have some flexibility. Let's do it. I am very scared about this matchup, though. They can do a lot of different things to just slow us down and eventually, really prevent us from eventually being able to win. We'll play first. This is good because it has Force Negation. I'm going to keep this. And then my hope is that I can hardcast this Force Negation. I will happily pitch this Baleful Strix even though I've got nothing else going on. Okay, so they mulligan once. Just going to play this out and we can fetch a Surveil land with it. Yeah, I let that resolve. Again, this card doesn't matter if we can stop them from being able to loam. Okay. I'm going to go get the, I'll get the blue-green. This is going in the graveyard. It's not good enough. I mean, it can attack, but it's pretty slow. I'm going to go ahead and brainstorm now. See if we can put back some cards we don't need. I don't really need this. Think we could put this back. Maybe that's a little too overly aggressive in terms of lands because if they're not going to be able to loam me, but they may be able to get one cycle of loam off. I don't think they're going to be able to though. I'm almost certainly going to negate whatever they do here. It's worth noting that Tamiyo, that's fine. I'm going to let them do that. I mean, Tamiyo ultimating is a path to victory. This is a mulch. I'll counter it. I'm just going to go ahead and do this now because it does shut off like a good portion of their deck. It doesn't shut off mulch or anything, but it does shut off. Okay, this is good. This can pitch to Force Negation. But basically, all their lands are one shot now. So it's just a question of how many lands they can draw. They're not doing anything. That's great for me. So it looks like they likely have. Yeah, now I'm thinking that maybe I shouldn't have been the Brazen Borrower. And now, because that's already a basic land, I can't do anything to stop it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang this out. I'm going to definitely play this Wasteland. Okay, I don't really need either of these. I'll do that. I'm going to play this out. Okay, and then I'm going to play this out. And this is just a draw trigger. That's all it represents. The ability to draw. And I'm not going to draw this turn because I don't want that extra land. It's fine. I think they're probably just going to crack it. Okay. So the problem is if they do play like a card, we can't deal with it because this is a basic now. So I'm going to draw, fetch. I'm just going to grab a non-ETB tap land because I'm about to correct this. Grab a Bayou just so we have all our colors. I will exile their graveyard. Draw a card. Okay. I think I'm going to just ponder here, set up my next few draws. I need to find a win con. Yeah, I mean, that's a win con. I don't need this land, but I will draw it eventually. That's fine. Main thing I need is this frog, and I'm going to pass, and I'm going to hold up the ability to force negation, because I can't force negation through Vexing Bauble for free. I have to be able to hard cast it. Okay, and they have the combo here now. Oh wait, they don't have the combo. Okay, they don't have the combo. They need to get the actual Dark Depths. This is just a stage. Okay, so I'm going to play this out. Black. Wait, check this out. Black. Blue. I still have force negation up. I'll pass. I'll force negation anything they put on the stack here. That's fine. So they now have a copy of Wasteland. I'm not sure why they copied the Wasteland. Probably to be able to stop my Wasteland. Yeah, that's fine. They could have... I'm going to hold up Force Negation before I use it. I'm going to go ahead and just attack here for 1. I'm going to attack for 2. I need a little bit of a clock. Draw my card. Tamiyo's good. So I think I can't... Well, I can Tamiyo and I can waste. I'm going to do that. Tamiyo. I'm just going to go ahead and waste this now because I don't want them to waste me later. I don't really care about the Field of the Dead. So now I've got Tamiyo, who can potentially tick up toward Ultimate next turn if I cast a Ponder. Do they have any cards to jam? They don't. Okay, great. This is good because we are carefully keeping this Force Negation. Do I cast this? I don't think I do. I'm just going to hold it for now. I want to flip Tamiyo. The best way to flip Tamiyo here is probably to just ponder to set up my next few draws. I don't need any of these cards. I'm going to shuffle. All right. Tamiyo will plus here. I can't actually use her minus ability due to Ground Seal. Okay, they're cracking that. That's fine. Wasteland. Caracas. Okay. Caracas misses window to bounce Tamiyo. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just draw here. Since they took the card out, I can do this. All right. Plus here. Going to attack. They could crop rot or do something to get extra cards. I'm just going to discard a card here. I don't need that land. Discard a card. I could discard some more and make it a 2-turn clock. I'm just going to do it like that. It's a 3-turn clock. Tamiyo ends the game in 3 turns anyway. Brazen Borrower makes me feel really safe. I don't think it... Yeah, I'm not going to play out Leovold. I mean, in fact, I probably could have pitched him now that they've got Caracas out. I'm more concerned about time than I am about losing this game. Field of the Dead. Even if they start making zombies, I'm not worried about it. Are they conceding? Okay, good. All right. All right. On the play, or I guess on the draw, it doesn't matter. Did I learn anything about their deck? I don't think I did. I didn't learn anything that makes me want to change what I'm doing here. Okay. All right. This is a snap keep by virtue of the Brazen Borrower, which stops their win con. No, keep. My opponent says they need this win for the 5-0. That's fine. I don't have any free counter magic anyway. So this Rishodon port is a little bit scary. I think I'm going to go ahead and play this out. If it gets wasted, it gets wasted. This is a terrible card in the matchup. We just want to draw toward more land. Keep the lands coming. Because Rishodon port is just there to like slow us down a little bit. Fine. Dark Depths. Okay. Again, we don't really have to worry too much about Dark Depths as long as we have the mana to... Okay. So they didn't do anything here. I think I want to hit the exploration. Yeah, because they don't have enough mana to just straight up kill me right now. So I'm going to mill myself. I should have put a fetch out. That was bad. And my opponent's going to lose some life. Oops. Cancel. I'm going to cast this. I'm not going to take my opponent's life. I'm going to take their enchantment. I'll go with that one. Since if I go with this one, they just sack it and draw a card. All right, we got a delta, so we were unpunished for not playing out a fetch. Let's pass. We're just going to play slow and carefully here. They have 2 mana sources out. They don't have any lands in their graveyard to loam. Okay, that is not a big deal. 8 minutes on the clock. Let's see what we can do here. I am going to go ahead and just use this mana. Okay, so I think what we do here is we do play out a frog. I'm a little bit wary to put back lands. I can draw these if I want to, but this turn I am going to play out the frog. I don't mind drawing another ponder. Scariest thing they can do here is definitely like, I'm not sure, crop rotation. They don't, let me just double check. They don't play Sejiri Step, do they? They don't. So if I bounce, they have Lair of the Hydra as another win con. If I bounce, they shouldn't be able to, yeah, that has very little impact, I think. They're going to be able to potentially put 2 cards into play. Are they going to dismember? What are they doing here? If they dismember, I will discard cards to protect it. So I'm going to discard this. I'm going to discard this. Oops. Discard this. And I will discard. We know we have a Brainstorm on top of our deck. The card they put into play could be a... Yeah, I'm just going to go all in here. Oops. No, I'm not. I'm going to discard this. They don't have the... Well, they may have the ability to port me. All right, so this is going to survive. Do they have a second one? They don't. Okay. And they said instead lose. Okay. I'm not sure why they said they had a 50% chance of winning the game. I'm going to go ahead and attack here. Draw a card. Hopefully it's a land. It's an Uro. Uro's not terrible here, but I want to find land. Wow, I found a lot of land. I think I'll just take this, and then based on what they do here, I can decide whether I want to... I do think I'm going to play out the second one, just to kind of not have all my eggs in one basket. Uro can put me up over 20, so I can potentially survive a crack from... They have 1 card in hand. I guess they opted not to discard their hand there. Or, yeah, to Mana Bond's ability. Sorry, I'm trying to take in all this information while I'm making sure I'm minding the clock. Because if they start slamming Mazes of Ith, this becomes a very tedious affair. My opponent is getting salty. Yeah, they're loaming, nothing back. That's fine. Okay. Okay, we win. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry that you had to see that salt on display. I understand my opponent was 4-0 and they were about to get a trophy, but then their worst nightmare walked in. Be excellent. Rocking the deck that I don't think is particularly well disposed. So maybe my opponent did feel that they had a favorable matchup there and they just got bad luck. All right, GateKappa. This, is this Gate like the Gate, the Death Shadow player? Let's find him. GateKappa tournament finishes. All right, and they are probably playing what I'm playing, which is great. We're going to get the mirror. This is almost identical. They're playing Orcish Bowmasters, which is scary. They're playing 1 Borrower. They are playing the full boat for Fatal Push, 2 Stifles, 4 Dazes, 1 Life from the Loam, which I don't like because it's too much clicking and it like slows down my clock even more. A Murderous Cut. And they're playing a nice conservative... they're playing 4 Wastelands, so 1 fewer fetches probably than I am. I'm playing 9 fetches, 2 Carpets, Consigned to Memory, Veil, Collector's Oof, 3 Ground Seal. Ground Seal represent. Yeah, this is super close to what I'm playing. I'm excited. Okay, so I know them, but they may not know me. I'm just going to... Borrower is potentially good. I like the high land count here. I'm going to keep on the strength of the land count. I don't have any illusions that my Psychic Frog is going to survive very long. I also think it's very likely that I get dazed here. So I'm just going to play a basic and pass and just go super slow. Slow and steady wins the race when you're in the mirror. Now, this player has been playing a lot longer than me in terms of like seriously playing. Like I've been playing since Ice Age. I might very well have been playing before they were even alive. But I've stopped many, many times. And I've probably only seriously played for like 2 or 3 years. I like this card. Yeah, it's a good card. Did they have this in their... They didn't have it. So they're similar to me. They're pivoting over to this. I think with the volume of lands we have, we do want to get... our maze, and that's kind of give the game away a little bit, but I mean, sadly, this doesn't really help us where we are. Am I crazy for putting them in the graveyard? I think I am, because they don't have board wipe, so if I just stick enough of these, they won't be able to get through them. And I do think that, like, I've got Baleful Strix in my deck too, and I may draw it. I think I'm just gonna play this and chill. Their deck does not win quickly. This is definitely staying on top of my deck. And I'm going to hope to draw my Strixes. All right, opponent is attacking for 1. No play. They don't have land. All right, well, I'm going to start wasting them. Do I want to Psychic Frog before I waste? I think so. This will deter them from attacking me. They're thinking hard. They may have a force. I can't imagine you force this, though. They should just let this resolve. Okay. And now I'm going to pass to the instep. I'm going to wait to the upkeep. See if they do anything here. But I will cut them off blue for sure. It's fine. I'm going to go ahead and just target that. Then I can remove the stop. Okay, then we're going to use that mana too. For Stifle. Okay, so I should have waited till upkeep. That was dumb. I could have, taken mana away from them by waiting. So yeah, my impatience has already cost me, and the skill delta is already making itself apparent here. Do they have a land? They don't. They have Bowmasters, which is fine. All right, so they've got a little bit of an army, and they're weenieing me with their tiny weenies. The 1/1 army there. Unfortunately, I can't cast Baleful Strix until I've... do we want to play another one of these out? I think it's... So the option is Tamiyo, Fatal Push. I do need to Fatal Push before the next turn cycle, so I can have mana to do other stuff. So yeah, I think I'll play out Tamiyo, and we'll just see what happens to her. I can Fatal Push around Stifle, or I can Fatal Push around Daze, rather. Unfortunately, oh wow, they're forcing. This is so good for me. Okay. And I'm just going to pass, and when they attack, I'll push the Bowmaster. Yeah, that was an aggressive force. They pitched Daze. Okay, I guess Daze isn't getting any better when I have this many lands out. Yeah, I really feel dumb for giving them the ability to use that mana efficiently last turn. Okay, and they did find a land, so they are mana screwed. But they didn't have a wasteland for my Soul Black Source, which is heartening. Let's go ahead and kill this so I don't have to take a damage. So the fact that they have Bowmasters, they are favored in this matchup just by virtue of that, because Bowmasters is really powerful in this matchup. Okay, they're going to get a land. Do they have a scary 3-drop like an Uro or something? Looks like an Uro coming. Yep. If they stifle this Uro, I will be crestfallen. They don't. Right, and they don't have a land either. Right, I think what we do here is we just Psychic Frog, pass. I could Ponder and then Psychic. I think Ponder while the Pondering is good, so to speak. I like wasting them off of their Bayou. I like this Strix. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a Strix and then I'm going to waste them. I could alternatively play a Psychic Frog and waste them. I think that's probably fine too. Yeah, but I'm going to keep all of these. I'll take the Wasteland first. Going to get them off their second blue source. I'll get them off this green source, I guess. And I'm a bad player. They can totally daze this. But I am going to go for it anyway, even though I'm dumb. Because I do want to keep some forward momentum. If they daze this, it's not the end of the world. If they daze it, they're time walking themselves on land. Okay. Yeah, and I'll pass. So we have one more land on, we have a fetch on top. Coming in with an attack on both. So I am going to block. They're really indecisive here. They just changed their mind like 5 times in very rapid succession. Yeah, I don't think it's correct to attack here. So I'll take this damage. I'm not going to block. I'm not sure how I'm even going to get rid of that Orc army token. Is this another Bowmaster? Oh, it's a frog. Okay, good. We have frog covered. I am a little worried about black mana sources. I've already gotten... You think it's fine. I'm going to play this out, and I'll just go blue, black, deal with this. Okay, and I think I can go ahead and do this now. And then I have the option of keeping just one of them. I don't think I'm going to keep... Well, I'll keep the Ponder. Well, the Ponder could bite me. Stifle actually might be good here. Yeah, I'm going to take the Stifle. And I can decide whether I want the Ponder next turn. I'm just going to hold back and wall up. This can go through all day long, but each of these trades with a frog. Right, blue-green. What is this? Ooh, that's pretty good. Do they have a wasteland in there? No. Yeah, I'm going to let that resolve. That makes my Stifle a lot worse. They can potentially start pitching stuff to Psychic Frog. I really need these to survive. Okay, blue. Ponder's fine. I can just borrow that army token back to their hand so it doesn't do damage each turn if I want to. That might be the best use of my borrower. I'm really worried about the Uro that's coming. I think Ponder's above average draw, though. I'm not going to shuffle that away. So I know one of those top cards is, I think it was like a land or something. Yeah, I'm just going to Ponder here while I can do it without worrying about Bowmasters. Strix, I'm going to take the third Strix. I think that is pretty strong. Okay, play this out. I do want that Brainstorm. I don't really need the other card. I think I'm just going to go ahead and attempt to borrow now while I think it's less likely that they have a daze. That may seem like a super minor optimization, but I don't want to keep taking damage each turn off of the token. And these can wall Uro, they can wall a lot of stuff. Okay, so we can play this out and it can trade with the Strix later. Strix is coming in strong here, though. I mean, it's completely grounded, this frog. So I think likely they're going to be able to escape Uro here. Looks like that's what they're doing. No point in stifling their fetch or doing anything to interact with their mana anymore. They functionally have as much mana as they need. I do think Leovold's going to pull weight in this matchup, though. So they can start just loaming each turn to like fill up their graveyard, but that is very clock intensive. Okay, and that's what they're doing. Not willing to trade off the Strix. It's fine. I'm going to go ahead and Brainstorm because I would like to get rid of some dead cards. Okay, my own Uro I think is good. Fatal Push seems good for their Uro. Force Will is not great in this matchup. So I think I'm going to go like that. Play this out. Fetch. We're going to get a Bayou probably. So we have lots of every color. And then we're going to go blue. Yeah, like that maybe. Just keep double black up. Do we want to do that? No, I'll keep one black up. Let's go ahead and do this. We get a card. No. Okay. I guess the question is, do I want to go ahead and push before they're able to attack with it. I don't think so. I think I just chill and see what they do here. So if I kill the Uro, then they have... I'll wait and see if they... well, they're not going to be able to loam again. Yeah, pushing, it does kind of time walk the Uro. And yeah, so I'll push beginning of their main phase, I guess. That's not good. They're going to use it, interestingly, on that. Okay. I'm just going to push here with my floating mana on this, deny them a draw. They can, of course, bring it back, but every time they bring it back, they churn through a lot of their graveyard cards, and they also burn a lot of clock. They're forcing here. They really want to get Uro through. Uro's just going to collide with one of my Strixes. The correct play here is to just let it happen. We got a 2-for-1 there. It's fine. By all means, just ram your Uro into one of my Strixes. So I can still deploy this frog. I think forcing there would have been a bad call. Now they can bring it back. Yeah, that's fine. Again, the second it attacks into a Strix, do we care? Can we race this? I think we just have to let it happen. It's going to happen sooner or later anyway. Yeah, I don't want to get blown out. Okay, they're doing blue-green. They're loaming a bunch of stuff back. They've got a lot of cards that can make their frog very strong. I feel pretty far behind here. It's not what I wanted to draw. Yeah, I think what we do here is I'm going to go blue, black, frog. And they can just start doing this every turn. I don't think they're likely to have a... I'm just going to play this out and pass. I think I've lost this game. But I want to be able to just like quickly F6 through. I don't think forcing anything here is going to be wise. My soul, stifle... Well, I shuffled it back in, but stifle can stop Tamiyo. My opponent's saying they can't play a land when they dredge, but I think what may have happened is they may have forgotten that they made a land drop or something like that. Yeah, that's fine. They can bring back Uro here, which doesn't look like they're going to do. I mean, really, like, I just need to draw a stifle to be able to stifle that to even stay alive. Yep, they're getting lands back. They're going to waste me again. They can't waste me this turn, but they will gradually get through my lands. Yeah, Baleful Strix, just not strong enough against Tamiyo, apparently. There's the stifle. If I attack here, there's a chance that they jump it and trade. There's also a chance they block with Baleful Strix. I don't think I care to like just give them a free roll on their frog here. I think I'm going to pass. Because like their frog is so powerful. I need to find a removal spell for the frog. And with Uro out there, yeah, I could have brought back my own Uro a few turns ago, but I don't feel like it's going to matter. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to yield and I'm going to keep passing and just burn up a little bit of their clock because I think I've lost this. But they don't have a clear way to win. They have to do a lot of stuff to win here. So I'll just learn a little bit more about their deck. But aside from the inclusion of the Baleful Strix, it's looking like they're doing the same thing that they've been doing recently. I think they're just going to gradually like take a bunch of time and waste all my lands. Yeah, maybe bringing Uro out earlier would have been the correct call. This Psychic Frog could easily trounce Uro in combat though. And that's like something to be aware of. So this is definitely an example of the Mirror Breaker, in this case being, are you going to attack in? Being Life from Loam. Life from Loam is definitely the most important card, other than Orcish Bowmasters. It's in my opponent's deck, that's not in my deck. Let's play this out, and I will pass. I think they forgot to use Tamiyo. I'm going to actually be able to use up more of their clock by using my spells. That's fine. They should realize by now that they won, and I'm just playing for a clock. Okay. Just going to cast that there. Keep this alive so I can trade with the Psychic Frog. Now I can yield through the turn. If I block here, I can do a lot more damage in terms of clock, in terms of being a coward and hiding behind the chess clocks. They're loaning a bunch of stuff back. They can alpha strike me, not next turn. They don't have enough mana. They can discard a bunch of cards this turn, and then next turn they can potentially attack me. Okay, so it's a 3/4. They can discard. Yeah, they can make it a 10. I'm just gonna pass. So they're gonna draw to 8, and now they have exact damage. What I'll do is I'll just stifle one of the discard triggers. Yep, they've got lethal here. It's gonna yield through the turn while they discard a bunch of cards. Okay, I guess they don't have lethal. And they're still casting spells and stuff. So this was a good strategy for burning time off their clock. So they just need to get to attack, and they can attack me to dead here. All right, so I'm going to head like 90 seconds, but again, it's not going to matter. Leovold is very strong here. I don't really care about the graveyard. Now Spellbomb maybe isn't the worst. Groundskeeper does turn off Leyline. But that's it. It turns off their Life from the Loam. These are coming in. Dress Down is not embarrassing, but it's not great. I think what we do is probably just do this. Because we do want, like, Dismember is pretty bad against their deck too. It can hit, Pernicious Deed isn't the worst in the sense that we could potentially, if they are ahead, we could deed and then play out our hand. So we could attain like mana superiority and then we could deed, but this is not going to hit Tamiyo, so I don't think we should do that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we want to cut. I like Stifle, I like Daze. Yeah, I'm just going to go in like this. So we're keeping the tempo package. The only thing we're taking out is these forces, and we're trading them for cards that are, in my opinion, unambiguously good. Like, I'm not embarrassed to have any of these cards in my deck right now. Let's keep this. This is super, super duper strong. And when I say super duper, I mean ultra uber, hyper, extremely strong. That's fine. I'm going to take this moment to go fetch a Surveillant. I'll get a black. I do think I'm going to go ahead and Witherbloom. Oh, I got the wrong freaking land. I meant to get a Surveillant there. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and attempt to cast Witherbloom command just to get my land back. Not doing anything else here. And I'll gain some life. I'll surveil some I'll mill some cards. If they daze this, I'll be very surprised. Okay. I'll get the Hedgeman's back. Yeah, definitely misplay not getting the Surveillant trigger there. I mean, it's going to be a long game. I'll be able to get it eventually. So I need to have 4 lands so I can safely cast Leovold. But once I cast Leovold, he's going to be extremely strong. Especially if my opponent like casts a carpet. Let's go ahead and do this. Do want that. Yeah, I like having that just as a form of permission here. And then I'm going to play out Tamiyo. And if they kill her, they kill her. It's a 1-for-1. Last time they forced her. But I can't even pretend that I have Brainstorm up here. Please waste me. Yeah, that's fine. I'll float a black. All right. The reason they did that is I think they're going to probably carpet, and they want to be able to get that mana. Maybe not this turn, but later they'll want to carpet. And they're anticipating my carpet, which is why they're doing this. Are they going to loam again? Oh, loam's good. Loam is quite good. We don't have anything for loam, by the way. Oh wait, we have a now Spellbomb. All right, I think this is as good as any a time to deploy Leovold. I have Daze back up. My opponent could have double. Yeah, I'm gonna do it now. Let's do black, blue, green, Leovold. I imagine this is going to be a very fast force if they have one. I'll just daze this back to hand. If they daze again, they can't daze again, but they may be able to force. Okay, it's in. That's great. Oh no, it's not in. They're forcing. All right, well, it's a 3-mana Hamden Torque. Not the worst. All right, we still have Tamiyo in play. Yeah, had I waited a turn, I would have been able to daze the force, but they wouldn't necessarily have been tapped out. I should probably assume they're always going to tap out here. Okay. Are they going to continue to waste me? I can't do anything about that. Yeah, they're going to waste lock me. This sucks. I'm going to need to find a carpet pretty quickly here before my green sources are all gone. They've taken out 2 of my 4 green sources. I'm going to just hope that they don't have Witherbloom here. If they have Witherbloom, they can, of course, take that out. No. They may just keep waste locking me until I don't have any lands and then just try to avoid playing blue sources for the rest of the game. That's something they can do. But unless they have Witherbloom command in their deck, which, yeah, they have 1 according to this list, this is going to be a very powerful card. They may not even have... Okay, yeah, I think they're going to have to crack this to go get Loam going. Their own carpet. Okay, that's good. There's nothing I can do about that right now, but I do have 2 Witherblooms in my deck. So they're going to be able to get blue without giving me blue, which is pretty powerful. Oh, they're going to get a land. I think this will probably be a blue land. They're down to 3 cards in hand, too. I have more permanents. This clue represents a card. I feel like slightly favored. But again, like this person is a really, really skilled player. They're famous among like Death Shadow players and stuff. Oh, they had a swamp to get. So I'm not going to get any mana off the carpet here. They're going to loam, and next turn they're going to waste me. Oh, they did have it. Devastating. Absolutely devastating. And then they get the wasteland back too. Yeah, we've definitely lost this. I'm trying to think of like what we could draw here that could dig us out of waste lock. We have 1 basic on our deck that we can't even fetch. I'm going to go ahead and just see if I can crack this clue and find... well, I can get it. I can get the basic with this. I'm going to play this out and I'll pass. I might end up using this to get the blue-black Surveil land that I was supposed to get turn 1. They got a lot of mana. They're going after our black now. So it's, green, black, they'll go after anything, it looks like. I think it's a matter of time, like just waiting around and being in the abyss and losing a land each turn. I think it's better to go ahead and Surveil and just hopefully find a good land here. Or we're not looking for land. We're looking for like, I don't think that's good enough. Psychic Frog. Uro? Okay, Uro. We're going to make Uro happen. Green. Blue. Blue. We're going to Uro. They can go after our last green source. Or we need 2 green sources. Yeah, I'm not going to get our green source here. I'm going to leave this uncracked because I need... Let's see. So we have a Bayou in the graveyard and we have a Hedge Maze. So we have 1 trop left in the deck, and we're going to need 2 trops to return Uro. So all they need to do here is waste us off our green, and we're going to be like super duper Stone Aged. 3 blue in the pool. Is this an Uro? Yep, that's an Uro, and they're going to be able to pretty quickly use Uro. They have a wasteland in hand, so they're going to probably deploy a wasteland here. So we need to find our other carpet. We do have a carpet in our deck. It would be like incredible negligence for them to not waste me here. Yeah, as expected. Okay, so last green source in the deck. All right, that's fine. I can push that. Okay, they're letting that fizzle. I think we wait. I need to get rid of this. The only way out at this point, they still don't have any islands in play. I think I'm going to start by pushing. And then if they flip her, I can Shield Rose Edict, but I'm still losing a land. I don't think that defensive posture is going to work out for me. I need to ponder here. These cards are good, but they're not good enough. This represents basically an extra turn on the clock. We could always push, daze our push, and get our land back. That seems super janky. I'm going to shuffle. All right, we got a Delta anyway. Play it out. So we have 2 lands left in our deck. I think I'm going to go get the island here. I'll keep the trop in here because that's my path to Yeah, so we have a trop. These are all the black that we have. Yeah, we're just going to have to hold. And if they attack in and they don't have a removal spell, we can kill her in combat. If she attempts to flip, she flips, and then I'll use Shielder's Edict. They've got so much mana off their carpet. They can bring back Uro. They can do so many things. There's like a 0%. I'd say maybe like a 3 or 4% chance of me pulling this out. A lot of things have to go right. They still have been so disciplined about not fetching islands. So even if I rip a carpet, like, first of all, the carpet would have to resolve. Okay, they're getting islands. Good. So they have 2 non-island lands in their deck, and now their islands are out, and they're going to go ahead and probably play an Uro. And then I'm not sure how they're going to... Oh, wait. They can use their clue from Tamiyo to flipper. That's their plan. Okay, they're getting a bunch of stuff back here. Are they not going to return Uro? They can return Uro. Then they can play... Okay, and then they have the mana. Well, they won't have this floating mana to flip. So if they already played a land this turn, I can't remember if they did, then they're not going to be able to flip her. So that's draw number 2. Wasteland. So the only path to victory for me involves me top decking carpet like right now. Okay, they're going to combat. They're not attacking. Okay, so this Strix is really strong in this matchup. Okay, so I think, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go get my trop here. And I'm going to hope to flip. See if we can find it. Carpet? No carpet. We did find Spellbomb, which is not terrible. The Life from the Loam is in their graveyard. One of the Wastelands is in their graveyard. One of them is in their hand. So I think it's going to be too late. I'm going to try for it, though. So I'll go hang on to this. Now Spellbomb. Oh, I can't. I fetched last turn. If I fetched this turn, I would be able to Fatal Push this and now Spellbomb it away. As it is, I'm not going to be able to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and Spellbomb them now. I'm not going to pay the mana. All right, and now I'm just going to push. So it'll still be in their graveyard, but they'll need cards to bring it back. Yeah, that's the best I can do. I'm fighting this just to see what happens, but again, like I want to be clear, I gave up hope a long time ago. This is interesting gameplay. Like if I wasn't so incredibly behind from the Waste Locks, they can only choose one color. They chose black. Okay. So now our path to victory involves us top decking Carpet of Victory, or Carpet of Victory. They should just call it Carpet of Victory. Carpet of Flowers. Okay, they're dismembering this. Now they can attack in. My hand is non-functional. I do not have a single black source left in my deck to fetch. I have a carpet that I can draw in 2 turns. I am pretty ready to concede. I hope you all won't mind me conceding here, because I think we're like less than 1% at this point for winning. In terms of Wastelands in exile, they've just got 1 Wasteland in exile. 1's in their graveyard. They don't have a way to, they've already used their one of Witherbloom command, which was very fortuitous, which erased my carpet. If that hadn't happened, this would be a very different game. Okay, and that is probably game because I have 2 turns of drawing random stuff that I don't need. Yeah, I'm just going to concede. All right, let's go to game 3. We're back for game 3 against Shay Trousman. All right, and it looks like they're on a tempo deck. Similar to the tempo deck that I've been playing a lot lately, except, no, they're very similar to the deck that I've been playing because they're playing Delver instead of Nethergoyf, which I don't play Nethergoyf either. I'm much more of a control deck. I don't, however, see any, I see 3 Bowmasters, but I don't see Baleful Strix in here. So they're in for a Baleful Strix surprise. Good luck, have fun. It seems like a very good hand against them. I'm going to keep this. I think I am going to get my island. I'm just going to Tamiyo and see what they have to say about that. I have a backup Tamiyo. And 2 turns from now, I can flip her. So sometimes you just ride the Tamiyo to victory. They have 2 Tamiyos in their deck. Yeah. They're mulliganing to 6. Okay, so real quick, I'm trying to not focus too much on the game I just played, but definitely I think the big misplays were, the biggest misplay was probably being cavalier with my Leovold. Had I waited an extra turn to cast him, he much more likely would have come into play. Uh-oh, are they on a combo deck? This was today. So I think they're probably still on this. They might just, I mean, it might be you do a trophy and you switch to like cleanse the palette, but going to 4 cards, maybe they're just trying to do a quick league with like oops all spells or something. I'm trying to think of why they would mulligan this deep with a tempo deck. So this deck is not good against crazy decks. So I am going to be more aggressive. I'm going to assume my opponent's not going to be trying to waste me out. I'm going to go get a blue-green land, I guess. And I'm going to attempt to ponder into more disruption. Like a Force of Will would be great. These are all unnecessary cards. I'm going to assume they're not going to try to waste me out here. Okay, this probably doesn't do anything if they're on a combo deck. Next turn, I'll deploy Tamiyo, and hopefully I'll have some sort of disruptive card. Okay, they could be on Doomsday. That's a black-blue land that casts Ponder that mulls to 4. All right. Drawing a relevant card. I'm going to go ahead and deploy the Tamiyo. I mean, worst case scenario, she does draw me a card after a few turns. We can surveil if they don't have a wasteland effect. Yeah, game 1 against combo is always tough because you're like, okay, this looks like a perfectly good hand against rescam, so I'll keep it. Psychic Frog. Yeah, I'm just going to daze that. I mean, this is particularly backbreaking for them because they mulligan really deep. And it looks like this could be in a Doomsday deck. Don't get me wrong. Okay. I'm going to go get the blue-black land. Surveil. This is... I'm going to keep this. My reasoning is that I can't defend that decision. No, I need to draw into... just because they played a frog doesn't mean that they're not on Doomsday. Okay, and I'm glad I kept as is because I can deploy my own frog. And assuming that they don't have the ability to quickly win, this will gradually put victory out of range for them. If they daze this, it's not the end of the world. It's disruption out of their hand. Black, blue, frog. And this does give us the ability to flip Tamiyo next turn if it resolves. Okay, they have daze. I don't think waiting was correct. But I am increasingly convinced that they're maybe just, mulling to 4 on Dimir Delver. It's certainly possible. We're still favored here. All right, I'm going to ponder into a land. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to ponder here. Okay, are they on Bowmasters here? That's fine. That trigger resolves are hitting me. I think it's fine to go ahead and just push since we're like pretty far ahead of them in terms of cards. All right, these are great cards. So I want the land first, and then I can play the Psychic Frog next turn. I'm going to go ahead and play the land out just in case I need it, and I'll attack again. Yeah, I'm convinced that they're just on scam, and they just got incredibly unlucky or took ill-advised mulligans to get down to 4 there. Ponder's fine. One of the great things about resolving a Psychic Frog is you can basically just pitch Uro into the graveyard, and then you don't have to go through the first step of playing him, which isn't the worst, but you're drawing a card, you're gaining 3 life, but it is 3 mana, and if I manage to... yeah, that's okay. I've got another one. Now they're going to attack. I mean, any 1-for-1 at this point favors me. Yeah, that's fine. The reason it favors me is because I think they're probably playing Nethergoyf in this build if they're playing Mishra's Bubble. I mean, I say all these things, but they could just untap and Doomsday me. There are Doomsday decks that play, this spread of cards that they're playing. Yeah, I'm still going to jam the frog. Do I want to jam the frog? Yeah, I mean, it would be foolish to, not jam it, in my opinion. I'm going to draw it. I'm going to jam it. They see it's coming. They kill it. That's okay. It's another 1-for-1. If they don't kill it, I'm going to start drawing. Because I can definitely make this tough enough to survive a little bit of combat. I don't mind at all pitching Uro. Brainstorm's fine. Okay, they may have some action here. If their action is a Shield Edict, is it a Bowmaster? What is it? Yeah, that's fine. I will Shield Edict the heck out of that next turn. So, I do have a Surveil land I can get here, and I think I'll get it. I hope they attack in, but I can't imagine they're going to do that. Okay, I'm just going to go get my... So I have a Brainstorm on top. I'm fine with just cracking this now. I don't necessarily need the Brainstorm. I'll get the Surveil trigger, which will kind of be like a mini Brainstorm. I'm just going to put that in the graveyard. All right. Witherbloom Command gets us back a Bayou, and then we can use that Bayou to Shieldred's Edict. I think it's fine. So I'm going to go green, black, Witherbloom Command. I'll take out their token. Wait, yeah, there. I'll get back a land, and this turns on Uro for next turn. I'll just get back my Bayou, so all my colors are covered. I'll play this out. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to Shieldred's Edict. If they stop this somehow, that's totally fine. I'll just wait a turn before I start attacking, because I want to deny them cards for sure. Is their last card of days? No, they're conceding. Okay, so again, that was kind of a non-game because they didn't have, they started with 4 cards in their hand, and I was on the play. So, yeah, Leovold's going to be good. I didn't see any reason to bring in Ground Seal. Their deck is very honest, and I like these kinds of decks. Like, it's fun to play these kinds of matches. They're not doing any reanimation shenanigans. It's just like straight, honest, like trying to beat your face down. It's basically an aggro deck that has a bunch of dazes in it and forces. So I think we bring these in. I think we take out the forces. Wait, maybe we take out the dazes on the play, on the draw. I mean, the mana resources are so low that I almost feel like we just take the forces out. You could argue that, so there's like a school of thought that like you do want to have forces in on the draw against Delver because if you're dying with a bunch of cards in your hand, that's not good. Against Delver, let's take a look at their deck again. They're likely bringing in... They might bring in a Grafdigger's Cage for Uro. They might bring in Berry Goyf. Cards that I think are low importance here. Dismember's not very good against aggro decks that don't play... Troll of Khazad-dûm, so I'll take that out. I think, yeah, I'm going to cut these because I don't want to be going back on lands. I think I'm going to keep my forces in, and I'm just going to win through sheer card quality rather than... is there anything to stifle in their deck? Not really. I think I take Stifle out, and I'll bring one of these back in. Yep, let's do it. All right, we're back for game 2 of match 3 versus Blue-Black Tempo variant. They're playing first. This seems like an exceptionally good defensive hand, assuming they don't have an answer to my Uro. I'm going to keep this. We're just going to play super slow, and we're going to hope to not get wasted into oblivion. They did not mold any this time. Okay. Do you want this cat? I don't get the reference. So they're starting with a Tamiyo, and that's fine. So I could basically just start by Underground Seeing and then pushing her. That will probably invite a Daze. If she flips, I don't have a good, easy way to deal with her, though. So I think it's better to do that, to Daze, than it is to... because they could very well have Brainstorm next turn. So yeah, I'm going to attempt to do this, and I think it's highly likely this gets dazed. And I think it's also possible that I get Wasteland, but that didn't happen. Okay. I'll Google it. Thanks for teaching me your Zoomer ways. Okay, yeah, Wasteland, as we expected. Okay, we're having a fun little exchange there. Okay, so let's draw here. I think it's fine to play this out just because I can brainstorm if I need to. I don't have to fetch here. They don't seem to play Stifle, but they could because a lot of decks play those. I'm glad I got rid of her, but it sucks that I got Wastelanded because I am concerned about my mana base now. What I'll probably do here is, assuming they don't slam like Orcish Bowmasters, I will reserve the right to brainstorm and put back. I'm not even sure what I would put back. Maybe one of the brainstorms. Anything I can put back to get a land into play. All right, they have done nothing, which to me indicates they likely have Orcish Bowmasters in hand. Okay, they're fetching now, respecting my Stifle that is actually in my sideboard. They're going to cast it now? Okay, well, I'm going to brainstorm now just to get it out of my hand. Wow, this is great. This is great. Okay, so we're definitely going to get rid of this. This is terrible against Orcish Bowmasters, and I think we also get rid of... Oh, we have to redraw one of these. You know what? I think I'd rather redraw the Strix than the Brainstorm. Yes, I'll do that. Okay, we got one of the bad cards out of our hand. All right. I definitely could have forced there. I mean, that was like definitely... If you're ever going to force, that's like a good time to force. I think what I do here, I know the top card of my hand is bad. I do want to put up some defense. I can't do anything this turn. I'll just play a fetch and I'll pass. Yep. So they're going to be able to get 2 damage in, maybe like 4 damage. Eventually, I will get my Psychic Frog out. Next turn, I can cast Psychic Frog around Daze Protection. But Psychic Frog will be good because I can pitch Uro. I can potentially pitch Force to it as well, and I can potentially pitch Baleful Strix if I need to. But keep in mind, they're almost certainly playing, like 4 Fatal Pushes, I would imagine. I think this is a force, and this force is making me regret the fact that we didn't force the Bowmasters, because if we forced that, I think we'd be in a better position here. All right, the moment of truth to see whether they have Stifle, and I have to draw this Brainstorm that I don't want. I'm going to get Undercity Sewers here. That is pretty damn good. I'm going to put that on top. All right, I'm going to draw here. I think what we do is we push and then we ponder. Just trying to get to Uro mana. Uro will be extremely strong against their deck. So we have a Tamiyo, we have a Wasteland. I mean, Wasteland plus Island, it does guarantee that we can at least cast Uro next turn. These are all great cards. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chill, and I'll draw the Wasteland now. And Tamiyo is the least. Well, actually, Tamiyo is better than Psychic Frog, because if I want a Psychic Frog, I can just cast them now. Yeah, so we'll just pass. It's really like Uro is what I see us doing to get out of this. And we're not really in like a tight squeeze. I mean, they have 3 lands, but I presume they have Wasteland here. Yeah, a second Psychic Frog is not the worst. But I do kind of wish I had Tamiyo instead of Psychic Frog, just to diversify my threats a little bit. They've got lots of land, which is probably actually bad for them, because I don't think they play like a powerful top-end card like Uro. I'll be sad if this is a second Bowmasters. Murktide Regent cannot race Uro generally, especially not at 5/5 size. So I don't think I'm too concerned about that. Because they didn't play out a Wasteland, well, that changes things, doesn't it? Yeah, that changes things for the worse. Okay, I am definitely going to fetch here. Are they going to crack? They're not going to go for it? All right, I'm just going to go ahead and get my green source here. I don't have a Stifle, so I can't cheat Uro into play. Psychic Frog, sadly, just can't hang with Murktide Regent. We need to find one of our many cards that can deal with Murktide Regent. Okay, so they have 3 mana. Let's do some math. Okay. They cannot, if they pass priority, they cannot use, okay, so I could play this out. Okay, math time. All right. So 3 green from carpet. So we have 2 blue. It's not enough. Even with this wasteland, we're 1 short. So what I think we do is we play out carpet and we use carpet to play out Psychic Frog and maybe distract them with Psychic Frog. If they crack this and get like any sort of blue source, then we have enough mana to both cast Uro and escape Uro in the same turn. But if they're heads up, they may exile our graveyard in response to us casting Uro. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this out, and then I'm going to pass, and then I'm going to play out the Psychic Frog. And that will hopefully discourage them a little bit from attacking, but I don't think they're going to turn down the attack. I'll just go ahead and add blue here. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to go Psychic Frog. And then I'm going to pass. And we're going to lose that mana. I really hope they crack this. I do feel like there's a way we might be able to navigate Uro. Yeah, they got the basic swamp, which doesn't help us. Oh, now that I have Psychic Frog, I could discard this, but I didn't think about that. That was bad. So I could have potentially played out Psychic Frog, and then, yeah, this happens. I don't think it's correct to pitch Uro now because they can definitely exile. If they tap out, okay. Bowmaster sucks. Yeah, I think we lost this game, and I think we lost it. Let's say I go... so I go green for carpet, and then I go blue, black for, no, I wouldn't have been able to do it. Yeah, there was no path. What I was thinking is I discard Uro to frog, and then I bring Uro back immediately before they get priority again. Okay, so we're going to take a lot of damage here. We're going to take 7. We're going to drop to 5, and I don't think we have a way out of this. Not with the amount of mana. The best draw would probably actually be a land, but even that I don't think is going to... Oh, okay, we have a Fatal Push. All right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add... So we Fatal Push the Bowmaster. We do green, blue, Uro. We gain 3 life, which puts us out of range of death next turn. No, we'll take a ping. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to pull this off, but I'm going to go ahead and add black because if I get like Shielder's Edict, that is one way. Brazen Borrower could also get us out of this mess. So let's go green, blue, Uro. So now, I was wrong. We're not going to take a ping because we cleared the Bowmaster first. All right. We're not going to draw a Stifle. Yeah, that doesn't do it. We're taking 7. Yeah, there's no... Yeah, and even if they screw up and like we have priority, they can still exile. So yeah, we lost. All right, let's try again. I feel like I may have used a removal spell where I didn't need to use it, is what I'm thinking. That's the only thought that occurs to me as far as like how I could have played that tighter. But I do think like for our deck, removing Uro from play is very critical. Or I'm sorry, removing Bowmasters. I think this will be good here though. The Stifle could have helped me a lot. It could have helped me stifle Carpet into play. Or stifle Uro. Sorry, I'm like thinking so hard about the gameplay that I'm like just using the wrong nouns left and right. Okay. This is phenomenal hand. Of course, it relies on us not getting wasted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this. I don't think there's any debate about this being a solid hand. Then I'm going to start with... I think it's unlikely that they would waste us when we had a Tamiyo out. But if I ponder shuffle, they're going to know I'm stuck on lands. I'm stuck on lands. Let's draw. Okay, we got another ponder that we're probably not going to be able to cast. So we're just going to be kicking it for a few turns while they waste us. because these decks always have Wasteland turn 1. I'm bringing it into existence. Okay, this is not a Wasteland. Okay, I don't feel as bad. Basic Island. Preordain. Interesting. I haven't seen Preordain in a while. But I guess with Bowmasters at like an all-time low, maybe not all-time low because a lot of people have stopped playing the boring rescaminator deck and have started playing more interesting decks. So people are adding orcs back to their deck. But Bowmaster's still not like super duper represented here. Okay, so I think what we do is I'm going to ponder first, see if they daze it. And then if they do daze it, great. Because they may think I'm like totally desperate for mana. Okay, that's fine. And now what I can do is I can just show them. Actually, I do have another mana. Yeah, you just use your daze when you didn't need to. That's going to be great. All right. And next turn we can play out the carpet and we will have a comfortable daze protection padding, even though they've used one of their dazes already. Yeah, that's fine. Waste away. All right, so what I'll do here, I'll draw this land. I'm just going to go ahead and play out Tamiyo, and then I do have the ability to Brainstorm Flipper if they attempt to do something here. We're 2 turns away from Orc because they're Daze Wasteland plays. They could have a second Daze. They could push and then Daze my Brainstorm, which would make me very sad. Okay, I'm not moving. I am not moving. We didn't see what the card beyond this was, so I need to untap and make sure that Tamiyo is safe. So I'm going to go ahead and fetch here. Stifle. Okay, I'm going to get a tropical island. I'm going to play this now. I'm going to attack. All right, so we've gotten our mana back. I do want to be mana efficient here and also I want to cast Brainstorm around Bowmasters because that is a great way to lose. So out of blue here, and I'm just going to attempt to Brainstorm here, and if they have the push, they have the push. Then we're going to use it on one of my other creatures, if not this. Yep, that's fine. So no Tamiyo trigger, sadly. All right, I don't think we're going to be doing this at all this game. And everything else looks really good. We played out a land already this turn. No, we didn't. So I can play out a land here. Yeah. I think we put this back and this back. And if we think that they're going to play a Bowmasters, we can fetch that away. And then if they don't, we can Uro into a Wasteland next turn. That's fine. And I'm going to go ahead and push it now. I'm not totally opposed to just drawing the Wasteland here off of the Uro. Oh, wait, I won't get it, will I? Oh, wait, yeah, I do because of all the green mana. So we're going to go green here, and I'm just going to go blue, Uro. I think I do want to waste them here. Before I do, I think it makes sense to play my frog. I think it makes sense to go ahead and get the Brainstorm out of my hand because Brainstorm is such a liability against their Orcish Bowmasters deck. So I'll put these back, and I think I pass. And my intention is to trigger a shuffle, and then I'll crack a clue if they put like a Bowmasters on the stack. Okay, 2 mana, 3 mana. Barrogoyf, that's scary. Luckily, Baleful Strix can hold that off. I could fetch and see if I can find a Daze. I think that's worth doing. So I'm going to go get... I don't want those Brainstorms probably. Maybe I do. I will get another... Or I'll get a Bayou. And I'm going to go ahead and see if I can draw one of my 2 Dazes or one of my 4 Forces here. And if I can't, it's not the end of the world. I can just deploy a Baleful Strix to block. Baleful Strix famously weak to Orcish Bowmasters, but less weak when you're casting it. I'm going to hold this up for sure. Yes, I'll use this ability. I'm going to add blue. And I'm going to go black, blue, Strix. And I'll play out a land. Can return. I think that's the play. I'm going to go get a green source. I'm just going to go ahead and return Uro here and let them deal with that. Green, green, blue, Uro. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Uro comes down. I think it makes sense to cut them off their black source. That's going to be really good later. Yep. And they are welcome to attack into my creature that comes back every turn or my creature with Death Touch. They're going to have to remove both of these if they want to get a successful Bragoyf attack in. Leovold should be really strong in this matchup as well. We've got 8 minutes to close out the game. I think that's enough. I am playing a lot slower than them. Just thinking really hard. I don't want to lose this one. I feel like we're very favored here with the green in our deck. Okay. They're going to get a swamp. Bowmaster. Go for the throat. Okay. Respect. I love that art. Go for the throat. Famously cannot kill a Baleful Strix though. All right. Wow, this is a good card. I think we go ahead and I'm just going to add a blue mana here. I don't get a lot of mana here. And we're going to go, we will keep black up, green, green, oh, green, green, blue. Let's return this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done. They don't have a force effect. All right, no card going in. I'm just going to pass. And not only do I have this Uro in play, which they're going to have to try to kill again, I also have Shieldred's Edict, and I have Stifle on a fetch plus days. So it's possible that we could prevent a second Bragoyf from entering the play. All right, another land for my carpet. Is this a Bowmaster? Go for the throat again. Yeah, you got to go for the throat again. I will daze so hard. Let's just bounce this back to hand. I think that's probably game because we're going to be able to quickly fill up our graveyard with these frogs. Bragoyf still can't attack. I know he's named he's called Barrogoyf, but I love calling him Barrygoyf because I don't know, like something about berries. My kids love One Piece. Okay, actually, gosh, this is kind of twisted and screwed up, but I feel like we had green here, and I'm just going to use one of them to play this out, and it's like a ritual effect, and the other one can go, do we want to play this out? Yeah, we'll go black, green, and I will play that land out. Oh no, I screwed up. I can't undo it. Yep, we're going to ride the mistake bus here. Okay, and now we're going to go to post-combat. And I'm going to just add... I can't add enough green. I'll add black here. I'll just play Shieldred's Edict. I think they're going to concede pretty soon here because like they're getting completely buried. And this Leovold is really brutal against them. Wasting their own Underground Sea would not be a terrible play considering the amount of mana I'm about to get to bring back my Uro. I'm going to deploy 2 Psychic Frogs next turn. All right, my opponent said, I will never forgive you for failing to answer my cat-related queries. Good games. Yeah, good games to you too, Shay Trialsman. Those were fun. I think we're favored on the strength of Baleful Strix. The card is just ridiculous. It's been so good. And... I think it's going to be really good against Eldrazi and probably against Moonstompy and decks like that because it's like the way I think of Baleful Strix is you're kind of prepaying for your removal and you're getting a card for the, for your trouble. You're paying 1 black to get the removal effect. You're playing 1 blue to get the draw effect. And yeah, it's great. Unless they're playing Velgrim. This person is like really famous for being a brutal opponent. Not being rude or anything, but like I think I've played against them before. Yep. This will be fun. Okay, so half our deck that's focused on removing creatures from play is just totally dead here. Good news is, what is the good news? My sideboard is not really, designed to beat this. We'll see what happens. This is way too slow. Fatal Push is irrelevant. I'm gonna mulligan this. Good luck, have fun. Okay, this is better. I like Stifle. It can do something here. Witherbloom is quite good. I think what we do is we put back. I don't want to put back the Wastelands because they're so strong. This may seem really weird. Well, no, I'm gonna put back Psychic Frog because it's kind of slower. I know that sounds weird to say. No, I'm gonna put back Stifle. I'll put back Stifle, and I'm just gonna open Tamiyo and get the clock going. And if we find a second land, Witherbloom comes live, and we're just gonna waste while we go up the Tamiyo stock. Assuming they're on this deck. They could be on a different deck. They've been playing a lot of Storm. But yeah, we'll see. It's weird, like their art isn't loading in. And I noticed my opponent last game, their Brainstorm art wasn't loading in. MTGO is just weird when you're especially when you're playing on a Mac. Several layers of abstraction. I'm using this tool called Parallels to create a virtual machine, and then it Macifies everything, so I can like Alt Tab between my different Mac apps, and it's really cool. I'm gonna create a video, by the way. Somebody has requested, hey, be excellent, can you create a video showing how you're playing on Mac? And I will create a video eventually showcasing not only how I play on Mac, but the scripts I use. Because a lot of people say, oh, you've got really good sound. Like, how is your sound so good when you're just some, random software engineer who doesn't know anything about sound? Well, I actually do know a little bit about sound and music production, but I don't have like fancy gear. I'm talking to like a $60 mic that was designed in 1950s called the SM53. The same one Rob Halford uses. From Judas Priest. Paul McCartney uses it. A lot of people use it. Okay, Razorgrass Field. What is this? Okay, so basically just a ETB untapped land. Okay, we've got the Lion's Eye Diamond. Are we dead? Are we gonna go for a spin here? My opponent did think very hard. Okay, Emery's not my favorite. I am not a fan of Emery. The Lady in the Lock. With a very long, creepy hair, ready to come out of static ATV. Right, let's see what we get here. Rose not like super duper strong. I think we're probably actually better just. They can bring back Grim Monolith, which I can Witherbloom. I think it's totally fine to just go for an attack here and probably crack the clue. I think that's going to be more useful than wasting this white source. Why am I doing this during my turn? Because I started clicking already. It doesn't matter. All right. And we got a Ponder, which could help us if we have another turn. But I'm not convinced we'll have another turn. My opponent can potentially Lion's Eye Diamond, use 2 of the mana to bring back Grim Monolith. Ingenious Smith is a cool card. I haven't seen this in a while. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them and put that into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. So it's kind of like a Seagate Oracle type. I don't know what it's called, but there's like this modern card that people play that looks at the top cards and puts like an instant or sorcery, I think, into your hand. Yeah. So I have no idea what they're playing. All I know is they're likely, because they're playing Lion's Eye Diamond and they're playing blue, they're likely playing Echo of Eons. If they echo, positive note, Tamiyo does flip and I start ticking up, but I think if they echo, I'm probably dead. The other thing to note is their deck almost certainly plays Vexing Bauble, but they didn't have it in their opener. They did think really hard about their opener, but like they're a combo player. They may think really hard about everything they do here. All right, Monolith's cool. I'm going to blow it up if you don't use it. I'll probably actually blow up the Mox if I can manage to find a source. They're playing that tapped, which is a good sign for me. It's always good when my opponent is playing tapped things. And in fact, blowing stuff up isn't necessarily good because it may be mana positive. So Witherbloom is definitely not a great card to use right now. That is a great card to pick up, though. Okay, so let's say, hypothetically, I attack with Tamiyo, I ponder, I flipper, and I start going up the Tamiyo beanstalk. I've got plenty of other cards that I can use here. I'm going to do that. I'm going to ponder first. I'm going to shuffle this ponder. Don't need more Tamiyo. That's a good draw. And then I'm just going to attack, and then I'm going to pop my clue, and then I'm going to plus. The good news also is like Tamiyo has the negative ability. So I can, I'll use this. This will flipper. I got a hedge maze, which is not bad considering I have Uro in hand, but Uro is like way too slow of a threat against this deck, in my opinion. But what I was saying is like I can minus her to get my Force of Will back if I have to use Force of Will this turn. Also, she incidentally protects herself from 1/2 creatures like this. So even if my opponent, what are they doing here? I will force if they play Vexing Bubble, just because like I can get the Force of Will back. That is fine. Just like trying to find cards. They can't use it immediately. Oh wait, they kept the one that hadn't tapped. Okay, so Charbelcher, scary. Yeah, you can try to Charbelcher me. That's gonna be enough for me, dog. Isn't that how they say it? Okay, so I'm gonna pitch the Psychic Frog. I'm nowhere near having black mana. And I think Uro is probably like a better engine anyway. Maybe it isn't. Okay, they took damage here. Oh no. Oh, okay. That's just their last card. Okay, so it's worth noting that every turn they can attempt to return Goblin Charbelcher, and they can immediately activate with Lion's Eye Diamond. So pretty much I'm priced into, if I can't find a way to remove this, which, okay, that's good. Okay. I think what I have to do here, let's think. They're taking their time to think. I'm going to take my time to think. I'm going to go through several lines. 1, brainstorm. After having brainstormed, I can potentially put back Witherbloom Command, which is dead. Oh, the other alternative. Okay. I have another idea, which is, I mean, I have to get her out of play. If I get her out of play, I'm like really favored because they have to top deck one of their 3 remaining Goblin Charbelchers, and they just have like a bunch of janky mana on the table. Wasting, I don't think is smart at all. I'm not going to use any of these wastelands. Uro is very far from coming back. Even if I play Uro out to like go up a land, it's not going to help. So I think I am going to pitch Uro to Force of Will on Tamiyo. I'm just going to see what I draw first. The other alternative, of course, if I blow this up, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to play it, and then they have 3 to activate. So they can still activate even if I blow up. None of this stuff, blowing up mana does not make any difference at all. Getting her out of the play is what is going to be impactful here. So I'm going to brainstorm. Hopefully find removal. We did not find removal, and in fact, these cards are terrible. However, they are blue cards that can pitch the force, so maybe they're better. Okay, so I'm going to put this back. I can't imagine a world in which days matters here. I'm going to put it back. No, maybe we put this back. This doesn't matter because combat, they can attack in and kill her, technically. I think we want the blue card. Yeah, I'm going to do this. Play this out. Fetch. I'm going to get my blue-black Surveil land here. Just a C card. I don't have anything I'm going to cast. Actually, I could cast a Tamiyo. I think that's the play. I cast a Tamiyo. She can protect my other Tamiyo. Later, I can flip her and... Yeah, that seems really weak. I'm going to get 2... Okay, yeah. I think I talked myself into it. I'm going to Tamiyo here to be able to protect her. And now I'm just going to minus and go get my Force of Will. Get Force back. Okay. And we're going to pass. I'm trying to think if there's any reason not to fire these off. So we cut them off white completely. They do have a Lotus Petal. They have a Chrome Mox. They have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't think it makes sense to waste here. I'd rather keep the optionality. I'm going to pass. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then they wouldn't necessarily have mana to untap the Grand Monolith. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to cut them off white other than the Lotus Petal. I don't think it's going to have a big impact, but I'm going to try. They're playing white for a reason. I don't want them to like top deck some crazy white spell. I mean, there's an argument for keeping around just by virtue of it being able to, pay for my clues. Okay, as predicted, they're going after this, and I'm going to just force it. I think it makes sense to pitch the Uro. I think Uro is just way too slow. And you might be thinking like, well, how are you going to eventually get out of this? I need to, let's see. This does draw a card next turn. Yeah, they did tap this, so they are a little lower on mana. Yeah. Okay, Lotus Petal. So they just got back some of the mana that but like that was a pretty weak draw. We're still dead on board if we don't succeed in getting rid of this Emery. Right. I can't minus her at all. Yeah, unfortunately there's no way I can kill her because she's a 3-drop. Is there anything I can do to kill my own creatures? Okay, I know what I do. I'm going to go green, black, Witherbloom command, and I'll get back a fetch. And then I'll fetch and I'll push her. So let's destroy target permanent. Okay, I'm going to mill myself and I'm going to destroy... I think the Lion's Eye Diamond is the most dangerous thing to have on the table right now. I'll get my Misty back. Now I'm going to go play this out. We're going to go get a swamp. Probably could have gotten my Bayou there. Plus attack. I'll pass. They've gone through 2 of their Emerys. They still have live draws. Like they could in theory draw, but they don't currently have the mana unless they sacrifice these petals to unlock this. So they just have a bunch of kind of janky mana on the table right now. A lot of one-shot mana. I think we may be able to win this. Maybe that's me being naive and just not having enough experience playing against these decks. But I also think I'm going to minus Tamiyo and get a Force of Will back. Okay. Why did they pay mana? Oh, I guess they're going to go pay 3 mana. They have to pay 4 to untap this, right? Yeah. So they're going to use a petal to untap it. That's fine. Right. We pitched Uro, which was a mistake. Absolutely a mistake, because we could bring him back here. Yeah. Oh, okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play this out. Minus this. I'm going to go get my Force of Will. It's taking forever to think for some reason. MTGO is. Did MTGO crash? Wait for the program to respond. Please respond. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and attack. I'm going to create a clue. And then I'm just going to crack both of these clues. I'll go get my... and then once I've cracked these clues, I can put her back in and start taking her up again. Boom. Boom. Crack. Boom. Boom. Crack. Okay, she flips. They're going to need to draw like at least 2 relevant spells here. We'll pass. We don't have a way to win immediately, but if we draw half our deck, I think we can handle this opponent. That doesn't matter. I'm kind of surprised they're playing that card. All right. And then what I can do here, a plus again. I don't see a reason to make any moves here. I guess I could just push it. Like, I think it's a mistake to push it. I'm just going to chill. I've got Hardcast Force up, and yeah, they draw a card, but this is just non-creature spells. I guess I could have played out my Baleful Strix. Untap Grand Monolith. Okay. Okay, I'm going to just kill this creature in step, just so I don't have to worry about it later. And I'm going to fetch Surveil Land. Get some selection. We'll get another green source, I guess. That is staying on top. All right. We're going to plus. I've got like so many different things going on. I'm amazed they haven't conceded, but I guess they want to play this out. they are way ahead on clock because I have to think really hard. They have to think really hard, but most of their decisions are compressed to the early game. I'm just trying to think of the sequence of cards they would need to draw to be able to climb back into this. Yeah, I'm fine with them burning some clock. That's fine. I'll just pass. This is really the last turn that they have to try to slip out of my grip. Okay. All right, game 2. I can tell you that these consigned memories are going to be very good against freaking Belcher in 2024. Other cards, Ground Seal shuts off. Does Ground Seal stop? Let's see. Seal Emery. I think. Let's just read Emery. I don't know if she targets. Okay. Choose target artifact. Okay, great. This is great. So this is definitely coming in. This card is great. I love this card. I feel like we could probably pull these. It's just like a really janky kind of card. Leovold does shut down their draw effects, but I don't feel like it's good enough. Pernicious Deed is a slam dunk here. These are really good. I didn't see any red mana. Okay, so Dismember does kill in one hit. I think it's good. I think cards we're taking out are Baleful Strix, which sadly, like our favorite experimental card, just doesn't do very much in this matchup. Stifle does potentially do stuff. We could take out a Daze. We can also take out an Uro. Uro does pitch to force, like almost every other one of the cards in our decks. I don't imagine they're going to be messing with our mana. I could take out a single land. Yeah, I can't imagine a world in which they're casting like Blood Moon or something. I'm going to take the basic island out and I'll leave this in. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Let's go. All right, round 4, game 2. We've got a Ground Seal. We've got a Consign. We've got Double Force. This is a snap keep. So what we're hoping to do is ponder into land, especially if they just have a slow start. Okay. Delver playing an ETB tapped land and passing. That is very exciting for us. I'm going to grab this because I need to grab a green source anyway, and it might be cool to surveil on the way to it. I'm not sure if they play any like particularly nasty cards that we haven't seen. We did see, I don't remember if I saw like a one ring. Okay, there, we got motion. We got movement all over the place. Grim Monolith. I think we let that resolve. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and fetch now. I will get Hedge Maze. There's not really a reason. This is a win con and it is a blue card. I mean, I could just play this next turn and put them under a lot of pressure. Yeah, I think I do that. I think I just play this. And then Ground Seal can wait, and because we're going to have a turn after they cast Emery, Lurker in the Lock before Ground Seal comes online. Yeah, I think with Double Force it's totally fine to play this out because this will totally take over the game if they don't do anything about it. Like, we're going to stop their initial volley, and I definitely could see like holding back, and Consigned to Memory is a very strong card here. It's the Plow. No, 4 mana. Ingenious Smith. When Ingenious Smith enters the play, look at the top. Okay, whenever one or more artifacts enters the battlefield. We took out all of our removal. This is card selection. I mean, I'm tempted to counter this. Yeah, I think I counter this because this also slows down our frog plan. I think I will pitch a Ponder to this. Okay. 2 more mana floating. Pedal is fine. If they have a Storm Spell, that's going to be really sad here. Okay, land coming in untapped. 5 mana available. There is this Storm card. That is fine. I'm not going to counter that because I got that covered with Ground Seal. Literally covered with Ground Seal. I love it. Yeah, you've got a lot of guards. Oh, Goblin Char Belcher. It's better to have that in your graveyard where you can't access it. Hull Breacher is fine. I can't stop it. Yeah, that sucks. Hull Breacher is a good card for sure. All right, so unfortunately when I Ground Seal, which I am going to Ground Seal here, it is going to create a treasure token. Ground Seal. Okay, it resolves. You get a treasure. I'm going to just hang back because even if I draw, it's not good. And I don't want to do damage to them. I don't really care that much about it. What I want to do is survive them attacking. Emery is a dumb beater now. She can't do anything as far as I can tell. Choose target artifact. Yeah, so you have to target. Okay. That wording is slightly different from what I saw before. It's a little terrifying. Witch Enchanter. I can't stop this, but what they probably don't realize is I have a second one. So if they can get it into play now, I'm screwed. If they can't, I'll be fine. Yeah, that's fine. This is your one use of Emery. Okay, so I'm gonna have the Ground Seal again. No attacks. I mean, if you attack, I will dump my entire hand to kill your Hull Breacher for sure. Hull Breacher is really cramping my style here. Green. I wonder how many Witch Enchanters they play. It's a great land, I guess, for your deck that can't have basic lands and has to have multi-face lands. Yep, we're going to pass. You've got a lot of mana, and I'm terrified here, but I do have a Force Negation. Basically, I'm hoping that like they don't have another removal spell from my other Ground Seal, because that really cracks the game open. Force Negation can stop Charbelcher. Yes. I have to let that resolve. They've got quite an army of creatures, and now I'm feeling pretty dumb for removing all my removal. But if Uro comes into play, he can just put them in the abyss. So I'm not like losing hope or anything. If I get below 8 minutes, I might consider resigning just so I can save time for game 3. Mox Opal. Okay, yeah. Low impact card when you've already got so much mana. Okay, Ingenious Smith gets plus... At some point, they are going to have to start attacking me, and Frog is going to be a great wall. I seriously doubt they have removal on their deck. All right, and they do not seem to be attacking. Are they going to attack? No attacks. All right. So their card advantages engines are shut off, but they do have a tremendous amount of mana. Okay, this is, yeah, I mean, like, I think we kill Hull Breacher. I'm going to take a ton of damage here doing it. Okay, and they have the ability to crack back for 5. I think I brainstorm first, see if I can find a land or like another removal spell. A Tamiyo would be great. Land of Tamiyo would be the best. Okay, that's good. So this Daze is dead. This Wasteland is pretty bad, but I'll play it out. I don't think there's an immediate target. They could play like an Urza Saga or something in their deck. Yeah. So the question becomes, okay, do we attack? Don't think we do. I think I'm just going to wait and start attacking with Tamiyo here. Yeah, and that was an important, thing to do because we unlocked Brainstorm, which kind of helped us progress our game. Otherwise, we'd just be sitting here. Esper Sentinel doesn't matter. I'm going to cast Tamiyo here. Oh, that does boost the Ingenious Smith, doesn't it? None of these creatures fly. Tamiyo is going to just go to work creating tokens. Please attack. Okay, their weenies are not going to be able to attack me here. I'm feeling pretty favored. I'm going to play a Tamiyo, and I'm going to pass. I am loath to attack in just because they can, swing back for quite a bit of damage, and I don't think it's necessary. Is this some sort of ability? I don't know what they're doing here. Am I missing something? Oh, they're just untapping Grim Monolith. That's fine. Okay. No game actions. Oh, they are attacking. Nope, they're not attacking. That would be dumb, in my humble opinion. Like I don't know what constitutes good attacks for them right now, but I'm pretty sure attacking into the Psychic Frog when I have like a fistful of cards is not going to get there. Once she flips, her ability is going to be absolutely devastating because they've got a lot of like weak creatures. Ingenious Smith can keep getting bigger. The card that I'm most worried about would be a follow-up Hull Breacher. I can't really address that. Okay, yeah, and the Ingenious Smith grows. I will have to ditch a lot of cards if I want to stop her. I do hope they attack in, because every turn that they don't attack in is like, yeah, they're thinking about it. Please attack in. Come on. I'm going to use my mana here. Hopefully they don't have Hull Breacher as their last card. They do have Hull Breacher. Well, that is pretty catastrophic. Yep, I'm just going to have to chill. That's really bad. Okay, and there's no path to flipping Tamiyo until I can get Hull Breacher out of play. I'm going to go ahead and just attack with her. I'm not even sure if I should attack with her. I want to bait attacks in. My hand is terrible. I want to be able to pitch these cards. I don't even care that much about force negation anymore. What I care about is like the onboard threats. And I may be playing this wrong. Maybe I should have been attacking with Psychic Frog during that interim where there weren't any threats on the table. I was just afraid they were going to throw a whole bunch of stuff in front of it. Genius Smith is quite large. If they're patient, they can definitely overpower her. Overpower the frog. If they're impatient, they can't. I can only draw one card per turn. They may draw and play an artifact every turn. Witherbloom is pretty insane here. Yeah, so I'm going to cast it for sure, and I'll pay the tax too. We're going to Witherbloom, target player mills 3 cards, and I'm going to just destroy target. Do I want to kill the Esper Sentinel? I don't think there are any permanents that are problematic. I'd rather kill the Esper Sentinel, just so I don't have to keep paying the tax. Yes. Okay, it's dead. I'm going to return I'll return this so I can get the other Surveil land. Play it out. I think it's fine with attack. Just to get another clue. I will eventually clear this Hull Breacher, and I'll be glad that I have the clues when I do. If only I could flip her, I could start recurring that and doing even more devastation. But like most of their creatures have big enough toughness. If they play one more artifact, and Genius Smith is outside of Psychic Frog range. Okay. They are doing so. This could be one of those rare combo matchups that like I'm like losing on time. I would have to pitch my entire hand to survive this. All right, thank you for not making me pitch my entire hand, but I would have done it. Undercity Sewers. Can we find, Shielder's Edict doesn't work here. We definitely don't want that. Brazen Borrower would be good here. It's another card we can't really do anything with. I'm going to attack in, and I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I do have Hardcast Force of Negation in addition to Consign. This is whenever it comes into play. I'm just going to counter it because it's toughness and it's additional mana. Did that not work? Oh, they're using an ability. Never mind. Now they know that I have Consigned Memory in their hand, and I also wasted about 20 seconds looking like a fool. Okay. How did that get? Did they cast that? I thought. Yeah, they cast it. I don't counter target ability or colorless spell. It was a colorless spell. I don't know why it didn't let me do that. Okay, so 7/7. I can still outrank it. Brazen Borrower would be so good here. All right, we did it. We did it. I'm going to bounce Hull Breacher. Let's see. I bounce Hull Breacher. They can just recast it. I bounce Smith. They have to recast it. Gosh. I mean, I could just attack in with Borrower and gradually kill them. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bounce on this. Just get it out of play. They don't have the power on the table anymore. They are going to get a trigger. I can potentially counter whatever it is they do with that trigger. The next turn, I can play it out and I can start attacking in the air. Darth Vader, no MP3. Okay. Sadly, I do think I'm going to attack here because, like, if I can bait an attack, that's great. Like, none of the cards in my hand are important. But yeah, my path to victory is beating down with Brazen Borrower before they somehow kill me. I think with Consigned Memory, I have little risk of dying to them casting a powerful artifact like Goblin Charbelcher. That's fine. I'm going to let it resolve. And it's going to start getting bigger for sure. Charbelcher, okay. So we're going to go blue. We're going to just cast. I think I just cast with Replicate. Cancel. I'll just cast it. Oh wait, did it not work? Did it stop the freaking Charbelcher? What's happening? I thought I was backing out of consigned to memory. Well, obviously I'm going to lose now. That's a bummer. I'm just going to concede because, yeah. Let's go to the sideboard. I'll say, you can watch the video to see what happened. I tried to counter, but got confused by MTGO's UI. Well, good game. Okay. So this game is going to be the same as previous. I do think that seeing all those different cards makes me want to potentially bring in Fatal Pushes. I think Daze is going to be pretty bad here. I think Stifle's bad. I think Shielded Edict particularly bad, just because I didn't see any Karn or anything, and I want to be able to kill specific creatures, not just a creature. Deed is as strong as ever. Yeah, I could have kind of like time walked them a few times with like countering triggers and stuff like that, but there was no way I was going to be able to win with Brazen Borrower. Yeah, I'm going to keep my Wastelands out. I don't think just a Wasteland out. I don't think we go deeper. We could go deeper, but like it is nice to have access to those. Ground Seal was really good, keeping us from dying. I don't know. I mean, maybe it is Days coming out. I also feel like had I not pitched Uro, I could have brought Uro back and probably broken the gridlock that way. I don't think Leovold's good. I didn't see my opponent drawing any additional cards. All their card advantage comes from using their graveyard. Let's see, Pernicious Deed staying in Witherbloom, of course. Psychic Frog is fine. It did keep me alive there. Yeah, I think the cut is Days. I mean, it's just like a really bad late game talk deck. It's good if, it's good early, but I don't think it's gonna be that impactful. We'll see. We will see. This seems extremely good. I'm gonna keep this. So we've got the creature angle kind of covered. We have the ability to ground seal and shut off options there. We have Witherbloom command for either Wasteland recursion or removing permanents. We have 5 minutes 34 seconds on our clock. Our win condition is going to most likely just be getting a frog into play and attacking a whole lot. That's what I would like to happen. I am worried about, a single Hull Breacher coming up the works, but yeah. So I'm definitely not going to cast this Ponder. This Ponder is locked. It is glued at the hip to this Force of Will, which is going to keep us alive. We didn't see any green. We didn't see any way that they can interact with our early plays. They're thinking very hard, which makes me think that they maybe they're counting up to see if they have a turn one. Misty is definitely going to go fetch a green source, probably the green Surveil land, so we can play Ground Seal off Wasteland turn 2. I kind of like it, like the best draw after that will be a second fetch land, so we can turn on Fatal Push for 3. So we can. They do have the ability. Okay, they're mulliganing. That's good. They do have the ability to kill our Ground Seal. I mean, we'll have already gotten a card off of it, assuming they don't have a Hull Breacher out when we cast it. But they can still remove it, and then suddenly Emery is live again. So that's something to think about. Okay, I'm going to play quickly. I'll play a land. I'll pass. That Replicate on that card. Like next time, I'm just not going to mess with Replicate. They didn't have any counters in their hand, their deck. I don't know what I was doing trying to replicate that. Consign to Memory, just cast it as a 1-mana anti-artifact card. Okay, so they're taking damage here. Mox is fine. Love for them to go low on cards here. They put a Ingenious Smith behind it. Esper Sentinel is okay. Okay. This almost kind of like makes me want to remove him from play somehow, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to grab a Hedge Maze and I'm going to try to find a second land. Okay, that's a second land. Put that on top of the library. I think I'm going to play this out, and we're just going to wait a turn to kill the Ingenious Smith, or the Esper Sentinel. In that time, oh no, it's loading. Come on, load. Load MCGO. Okay, let's see if we... another land would not be ideal. What I really want is some sort of blue card that I can use for a force effect. Tamiyo is great. We've seen her do quite well. So we'll keep her on top. Come on, MTGO. Don't do this to me right now. You see the spinning right here? This is basically like my deck just put on top of my library. Come on. This is the worst time for MTGO to do this. I'm glad you're here to see like that. Like I am trying to play fast. Sometimes MTGO just does this. Please don't make me restart. Oh my goodness. I have clicked it several times. I have 4 minutes left to finish this game. Put on top of my library, please. MTGO. I'm just going to hit the 6 so that whenever this works, it just goes through the turn. All right, I think I am going to have to do a restart. All right, I'll be back. All right, we are back. And unfortunately, MTGO just didn't reload fast enough. It was like taking forever to connect and everything. And so we timed out. So that happens. I just want to show you my internet speed, 89 megabits per second. Like I did a full restart and everything. It just wasn't enough time to get back in. So these things happen. I did check Twitter and nobody else was complaining about an outage or anything. So I'm convinced it's probably on my side. So I'm just going to accept the blame for that. But I apologize to you that you were probably excited to see me, hopefully, mongoose that combo deck. And I think I could have with my hand. But it is what it is. Let's keep playing. We're going into, let's see. I have no idea what this person's playing. Wish some luck. They've mulliganed. I'm going to keep this on the strength of Baleful Strix and Psychic Frog and hope that it's a fair matchup and that they're just mulliganing. But I'm not going to mulligan a hand like this when, it could very well be a fair matchup. If it's like most matchups, it's going to involve a lot of wastelanding, and I'm going to be happy that I have all these lands. Okay, and it's looking like that. Hopefully this is not rescam. All right, they've been to force. I think since they did that, I'm just going to go ahead and play this out now and see if I can bait a wasteland because I have tons of lands. And I'll be totally happy. I'll put that on top because I want to get that and potentially put back some of these lands. And days may be numbered depending on how they play. So we're currently 2-2. Again, I do think we would have won that, but you can kind of watch and be the judge. I think we had force protection. We had a lot of action. They had mulled to 6. We had ground seal. We had a lot of stuff going on that was going to disrupt what they were doing. But again, once the match is over, Andrea Mangucci says, once the match is over, you just get up, you walk off, you don't think about it anymore. It doesn't matter. I mean, I still want to learn lessons from it and everything, but I don't want to be overly fixated on it. I don't want to let the previous game, distort this game. Okay, so this is precisely what we hoped would happen. They have wasted a wasteland on us. And I think you'll agree that unless they're playing Stifle, that was very much a wasted wasteland because we have a ton of land in our hand and we're cool with just having a very slow play. All right, Brainstorm, it's fine. Hopefully they're looking for land. I definitely don't want to use this daze until I have a threat on the table. So my thinking is I'm just going to play another fetch probably and just maybe sculpt with the Brainstorm. I'll be so sad if they're playing rescam because I'm not well equipped to beat rescam with this build. Baleful Strix doesn't do a lot against, Archon or Cruelty, for example. My hope is that they're playing a fair blue-black tempo build. They're definitely cantripping a lot. Getting a basic swamp. Okay, now Spellbomb. This indicates to me that they may be playing fair, which is great news. Okay, so I think I'm just going to go get my other Surveil land. If I can bend an Uro, I might be able to freak them out and get them to now Spellbomb me. I think we've been that. And that is probably going to give away that we have plenty of lands. Okay, we drew another land. The fact that they got this swamp, I don't think it's correct. I'm just going to be patient. I think playing a Baleful Strix is good because I don't really care if they push it. If they daze it, I can just daze it back. Yeah, I'm going to play this out and keep the ability to go get a different land. Here, I was like freaking out, like, oh no, did I just... Yeah, no, but I've got the right colors to play Baleful Strix. So I do hope that they daze this and I can just daze back. That's fine. I think it is correct to daze back here because they're dazing for a reason. Okay. We got a card. Another land. Okay. Again, these lands are no problem. We're going to be able to brainstorm it back. The main concern is... Oh, and their land is an ETB tap land. So we'll know how many lands they have because they probably wouldn't... Okay, they've got a basic. So I'm glad I didn't waste. That would have been counterproductive. I think it's fine to just play this tap land. Okay, so my reasoning is maybe we can get them to... I mean, they should have know that we don't care about land at this point. Like there were cool lands. That is a very good card in the matchup. I'll keep that. I think I'm going to attack in. I don't think they have anything that can kill this that I really need to worry about. They don't have any hasty creatures if they're playing a fair blue-black deck. That is a beautiful island. Okay, cantrip number 4. Or number 3. They're getting their cantrips. There's a saying that in control mirrors or tempo mirrors, you can usually tell who's winning by who's casting the most cantrips. But a caveat to that is like a good player will kind of like be very selective about how they use their cantrips. I'm not saying that my opponent isn't being selective. I don't know what's in their hand, but like trying to get perfect brainstorms. Like they may be surveilling back something they don't want here, surveilling it away. No, they put it on top. So they didn't get a perfect brainstorm there. Nethergoyf, no problem. That's what Baleful Strix is for. All right, and now I should be able to cast a Psychic Frog around days. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I talk myself into a black, blue, Psychic Frog. And if they push, they push. I've got a second one. I want to run out their hand. And I'm hoping that they attack in here, but I don't think they will. And if they don't attack in, I'm just going to exile and give the gift of flight to my frog. I think it's fine. Okay, I'm going to block. This isn't getting any better. If they rip like a Bowmasters or something, it just dies. So I'm definitely taking these trades where I can. They can potentially bring it back. But that they just spent 4 mana on that. This is okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait. And now I can push it and I can play my own. Okay, that is an insane draw. So let's go ahead and start with pushing this. Just to ensure that we have it out of play. They're forcing, which is fine. Their hand is empty, so now I know that I can both push and cast my own. And I think this is going to probably prompt a concession because they're going to be really far behind. I'm not even sure, like they mulliganed and were they on the play? I'm trying to figure out how they got so far behind. But I think the Strix was pretty instrumental in me being able to kind of overwhelm them. So they can't have both removal and daze here, so I can force to protect Psychic Frog, which I will do. I think this is fine. Like I'm going to get the first crack in and start cantripping or start drawing with Psychic Frog. They will eventually be able to... I'm just going to brainstorm now because the upside of me finding like a fetch and being able to shuffle away this wasteland and this drop are really good. That is ridiculous. I'll hold one. They have the ability to exile my graveyard. Oh, I can discard and then I can... I think there's a window after I discard where I can bring it back. I have green, green, blue, blue. Green, green, blue, blue, green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My daughter's in here making silly noises. I think they should concede here. Like, I'm not sure if they actually had a window where they could have spellbombed. I'm still like learning how the rules work and stuff. All right, let's go ahead and attack here. And I mean, I'm more concerned about like running out of time here than I am about losing. I think I'm in like basically an inassailable position. I can't think of a single card they could draw here that could really do that much. I am going to go ahead and get rid of this. The reasoning is that this makes it so they can't get Nethergoyf back. Not that Nethergoyf is like a scary threat or anything. Yeah, closing the barn door after the horse is gone. Okay, so if they can remove this with like a fatal push, which I'll force to protect it, but if they can remove this, they may potentially be able to daze since I wasted there. Okay, they're going to swing in. That is fine. They're going to get a card. I'm going to get 2 cards next turn. But like, what can they do? They're really far behind since I was able to use that arrow trick. Okay, and they conceded. All right, feeling favored because we have Baleful Strix. Baleful Strix is kind of the mirror breaker. It's just such a good card against these Nethergoyf decks. Okay, so we didn't see any indication they're using their graveyard for anything other than Nethergoyf and maybe like a Murktide. Leovold feels pretty good in this matchup. Let's think about that. Yeah, I think Leovold is going to be good. I'm going to take out Dazes. I don't think they're that great. I'm going to take a Stifle, and I'm going to try to go bigger because like almost all their cards are like 1-drops and stuff, 2-drops. Yeah, I can't think of any other substitutions I want to make. I want to keep the forces. Do we keep the forces on the draw? We'll keep the forces on the play. We will keep the Dazes. So Leovold is absolutely insane against Bowmasters because they basically are disincentivized to ping you. As long as you have life, you can draw a card every time they ping you, and it's just kind of like an infinite loop until they want to stop pinging you. Yeah, and I'm hoping that it makes an impact in this match. So this is going to be a disciplined mulligan from me. I'm sorry to be so complimentary of my mulliganing skills, but like I think this is totally 100% a trap hand. This is not as bad. We're going to get a basic island. We're going to ponder. We're going to put Uro back. So I think like if they have a Stifle, we're doomed. But I'm not going to play around Stifle because it's not that common. I don't know. Maybe they are. Okay. This makes it easy. Scary card. We don't really have... Can we get a land? Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and ponder now. And it's less scary about pondering when you have a second ponder in hand. The other day I pondered. Okay, this is pretty spectacular. Force of Will, I think, is what we take first, but I need both these lands. So I think I'm going to take the Force first, and then next turn I will play, just in case there's something catastrophic that happens here. I'm trying to think of what it could be that I would be willing to force into potential days, but I'll just be careful and not fetch both the lands. Okay. So like without any removal, I would probably, let's see, we could get them to, I think we do this. I don't want to face a flipped Tamiyo this early. I think they're probably going to daze. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad we did that. So that buys us a little bit of time. Flip Tamiyo gets very scary very quickly when we have like no pressure. We're spending the next 2 turns just developing. So I'm going to play my own Tamiyo, which I can potentially defend with a Brainstorm if absolutely necessary. But keep in mind that we have another land on top of our deck that we prefer to use. I'm never in a hurry to flip Tamiyo, but when my opponents are in a hurry, that's like when others are fearful, be greedy. When others are greedy, be fearful. And that's how I feel right now. So I'm going to attempt to flip her just to save her. I think the Underground Sea is the get here, considering we have a Psychic Frog in our hand, and I will not be surprised at all if this gets dazed, but I've got to do something here. Wow, it worked. Okay, and we got exactly what we need. I'm going to put... I think actually I'm going to put one of these lands back because I don't need both of these. All right, so we flipped her. There will be no clues from her, but we will be able to tick her up. Our opponent may be stuck on land. All right, our opponent's stuck on land. This is pretty good for us. So I'm going to go ahead and plus here. Play this out. I think if we play Psychic Frog, we can just jump Psychic Frog in front of her. That does involve discarding our entire hand. But I think it'd be worth it to potentially kill her. I don't know about that play. Okay, I'm just going to keep this up, and I'm not going to do anything. We'll see what happens. But I don't think I'm going to jump. Okay, they found another land. I think it'd be reckless to discard these 2 awesome cantrips just to be able to potentially kill a Tamiyo, which is unlikely to die because if they have a Brainstorm, if they have a Fatal Push, anything. So I'm not going to use my Psychic Frog here. They have a Psychic Frog of their own. That's fine. What I will do is I will attempt to ponder, brainstorm, whatever I need to do to find a way to remove that because I take that very seriously. And they're too scared to attack in, which is great. I should have fetched there. I don't think I want the card on top. I'm just going to fetch now. Better to fetch now in humiliation that you missed your opportunity to get the Surveil trigger. All right, so we've got our 3 colors. I'm going to go ahead and start with a Brainstorm because we can shuffle cards away that we don't want with the Ponder if we just completely come up dead. Okay. All right, so they could very well have a daze here, so I don't really feel comfortable. Well, I can just put these back for sure. Okay, I'm going to put these back. Now I'm going to ponder first. I may still be able to find a Fatal Push. Whoa, Scooby. All right. I'm going to attempt to do it now just because they're tapped out and it reduces the risk of them having a it worked. That's beautiful. I'm going to plus here. I'm going to attack, and if they block, I will pitch my hand to kill her. I don't think they'll block. They're not blocking. Okay. Yeah, we had to keep the bad ponder just so we could what am I trying to say? We had to keep the bad ponder so that we could get the Fatal Push. The Fatal Push just happened to be the 3rd card down. So I'm glad I did it in the sequence I did, but I am going to have to draw through a couple dead cards. Tamiyo is 2 turns away from ultimating. Borrower gives me a lot of hope that we can protect her. They should attack for sure. There's no disadvantage to attacking unless they're willing to block this. All right. We also have Tamiyo minus to get a Fatal Push if we need to. So we've got a lot of options here. They have lots of land, which means they can, draw cards. All right, we're drawing a Tamiyo here. I think I'm going to go ahead and attack in and just see what they do before I decide. Because if they flash in like a Bowmasters or something, I may want to just remove that with Fatal Push. Okay, no blocks. Land would be great. I could have definitely pitched these, but I'm just really not that concerned. Okay. And then, yeah, so what I'm going to do here, it's fine. They're going to attempt to ping and then block, I guess. Oh, wait. So I'm going to discard a card here. I'll just discard a Tamiyo so that my Psychic Frog will survive the second trigger here. They want to ping. Now they'll probably ping me instead or ping Tamiyo. Yeah, so I should have waited until this was on the stack. I kind of tipped my hand. Okay, but we did draw an amazing card here. I'm going to go black, green, Witherbloom command, and I'm going to take out their Orcish Bowmaster and I'm going to mill myself. I love using Witherbloom to remove Orcish Bowmasters. It feels so good because there's a lot of value. Yeah, and I'm going to just get back. I'll get it back in Underground Sea. I'm going to play this out. It's kind of greedy, but I don't think that they have days here, and I just want to get this out of play. Because this basically means that I can, and if they use days here, that's fine. Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm able to ultimate next turn. And if they attack me with that, it'll be a 1/2, and it'll take a loyalty offer and make an extra turn before I can ultimate. Now, ultimating is very dangerous when you have Tamiyo out, or when your opponent potentially has Orcish Bowmasters, so we're not going to ultimate necessarily. That was one reason to hold the Brazen Borrower so we can more safely ultimate, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait, and if my opponent taps out, then I will ultimate, but I'm not going to take a risk of taking 20 damage from an Orcish Bowmaster when I draw, I'll actually draw 18 cards. We're still in a really good position even if we don't ultimate here. They should definitely Tamiyo attack, but okay, if they don't Tamiyo attack, it means, okay, so they probably have something in their hand to interact with this, whether it's a Stifle, whether it's an Orcish Bowmaster. Otherwise, I think they would probably hold it back because it would be a lethal attack. I would be able to attack them for like 20. That's fine. So what the big change that I made here with this deck, this build of the deck, is I put in, I took out Orcish Bowmasters and I put in 3 Baleful Strix. So that's like the main change. And then I changed a Wasteland for, an additional fetch land. Those, I think, are the only major departures from what I've been playing recently. But I would say in this league, it has absolutely paid off. Like, Orcish Bowmasters is the best answer to Orcish Bowmasters, but we're playing 2 Witherbloom Command, 4 Fatal Push. We're playing like a bunch of other cards too. Okay, so they did flip. All right, they're doing the plus thing. Shouldn't matter. I'm still going to be able to attack with Psychic Frog and knock some power off, or knock some loyalty off Tamiyo. Our clocks are pretty close in case there's a game 3. Okay, this is good. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by, I don't want to ultimate. I'm going to plus. I'm going to be super conservative here. Now I'm going to attack, and I'm going to see if they have a Psychic Frog. They may be disincentivized to play out the Psychic Frog. Now that they know I'm going to discard a card. I will discard Tamiyo. Okay. And before we go to damage, I will also discard a Delta just to kill her. Oh, wait. I'm not going to discard Leovold. Yeah, I'll just take 2 loyalty offer. I think that's fine. I want to have mana. I'm going to play Leovold here after I get the draw trigger. If they have a Bowmaster, I think they do have a Bowmasters because they're thinking pretty hard. Like, you just let the damage through if you don't have a Bowmasters. If they Bowmasters, that's great for me because then it's face up. Oh, wow. Yeah, we just kind of have it all here. So I'm going to go ahead and play out this creature, which is probably going to be completely backbreaking for them. And then I still have this waiting in the wings if I absolutely need to take out a Tamiyo next turn. Is there Cracking Clue now, which makes sense. Yeah, I guess if I sequenced it in this order, like I could have potentially drawn. But I'd rather be sure that I have that Tamiyo is going to be able to do it safely. They've got 5 cards in hand. They've got 4 mana. They've got 3 clues. They are very much still in this. Tamiyo taking up. Now Spell Bomb. If that targets me, then I get a card, which is kind of cool. I do still have a Surveil land. I'm going to go get it. I'll get the green one. Let's see if we can put an Uro in there. Pernicious Deed. I don't think that's bad. I'm going to put it on the top of my library. I can play it out, and Pernicious Deed like kills all the clue tokens. It also kills their Nile Spellbomb. It also kills their Tamiyo. Oh, wait, it doesn't kill Tamiyo. That's right. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have put that on top. I'm just going to go ahead and attack Tamiyo for probably enough. Attack Tamiyo. Attack Tamiyo. Yeah, and we're just going to get her off the table. It's worth noting that this is not Bowmasters, and they can crack a clue and draw a card if they want. This is lethal damage on Tamiyo, and we will get to draw a card as well. Okay. I'm just going to, yeah. I don't mind them wiping my graveyard. I'll get to draw a card. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do this on their turn. So you may think like, oh, this is kind of sloppy. Like you could do some trick to get it into play. But I just want cards. Cards equal inevitability with Psychic Frog. I don't have a Stifle in my deck to draw here. And you may be thinking like, you're just running up the scoreboard. I want to make sure that I win. Okay, so I get to draw a card immediately. Okay. They're going to draw a card, their only card for this turn. Yes, I'll use the ability. A Baleful Strix, very good draw. Okay. I think we just hold with Brainstorm and Fatal Push. Again, just playing super conservatively. This is the last match of the day. And I just want to make sure that like I don't blow it somehow. If I can find like a Brainstorm or if I can get them to tap out, then I will Tamiyo Ultimate. Baragorf. Okay, so if this is their only card that they're going to be casting this turn, if they don't have another black source, okay, they do. All right, well, we're going to continue doing what we're doing. I don't want to use my mana inefficiently. Even in this situation, I want to see Carpet. Might as well play it out just to have a ton of mana. Yeah, I'm going to... is there a way that I can get a... I'm trying to think about... I don't even know what I'm thinking about. I'm going to Brainstorm here. I think it's safe to do. If I can find a fetch, then I can turn on Fatal Push and I can just get a nice clean attack. Fatal Push. So, Carpet is probably not necessary here. D doesn't seem super good. I will take the second Fatal Push. What I'm going to do is I think I can minus and then I've got double Fatal Push. But so I will draw 15 cards, which will not actually kill me. It'll just put me like super weak. And so I'm going to do it. All right. Do I get the cards? So between double Fatal Push, so here it comes. This is why we play carefully. Okay. All right, it resolves. I can't actually... okay, so I'm not going to use this ability. I don't really care. I'll use it later if I need to. No. I'm just going to push right now because I don't want to screw up the stack somehow and like die. That would be really embarrassing. Okay, Fatal Push. Do you have a force? There's lag. Okay, they conceded. Great. So that's why you play carefully. That last round, you may think like, oh, he's running up the scoreboard. He's just like showing off, you know. But no, I was not showing off. A lot of like I posted like a screenshot of one of my matches on like the on one of the many Discords I'm on, and people are like, wait, why does Tamiyo have 9 loyalty? What's wrong with you? Why didn't you ultimate? And like there are lots of situations where they're you know, where you need to worry about any number of different cards that can undermine your ability to go off. The name, you know, the most common one being Orcish Bowmasters. But yeah, that was a very dominant final match. Again, if we look at the match where I ran out of time, sadly, I feel like if MTGO had cooperated, I had like 4 minutes left, and I had, we can go to the replay and take a look at it. So this is just an exercise. If you want to stop watching, that's totally cool. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day, and I encourage you to subscribe and tell your friends about the channel and encourage them to get them into Legacy as well. But if you want to stick around, Professor Hat Time, I don't actually have a PhD, so I will not pretend to be a professor, maybe instructor, right? You can be an instructor with just a master's degree. Okay, so let's go to this Velgrim game. And this is game 3. And let's just take a look at how it went down. So I had a really strong keep game 3. Okay. And they got this Esper Sentinel out, and this is where the game ended. I could have untapped. Oh, so I think like I was trying to surveil a Tamiyo to the top of my deck. Tamiyo would have been 3rd blue card. And then we had Fatal Push if we needed it for this, but more likely this was going to kill, you know, a Hull Breacher, which would be catastrophic. It was going to kill something else. And if we needed to, we could ground seal if they were to play an Emery. So I feel like we were in a strong position, just having this force, them having 3 cards left, them not having a whole lot of mana. They didn't seem to have an LED or anything. So I do believe that we would have won this game. And had we won, we would have been 4-1. But I'll take the 3-2, given the circumstances. The matches that we lost were against this gentleman, GateKappa. And I want to review these games real quick because, and I say gentleman, I believe it's a male, but I don't want you to think I'm like presumptive. I've just seen them on the Death Shadow Discord, and I may have seen their faces sometime. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to presume. Okay, so we had a pretty good hand here. We have a lot of interaction here. Let's just see how this game goes. So they fetch. Okay, I'm going to fetch here and just surveil as well. I've got double Psychic Frog. Like it's feeling like I'm in a very good place here. And this is where like I just need to keep getting better, because I feel like with a hand like this, you know, Reed Duke or LSV or like one of these like pro players would absolutely be able to figure out a line to a win. And I just don't see them yet. So as the saying goes, the first step to being good at something is sucking at something. And I'll freely admit that I'm not the best Magic player and I have a long way to go. I feel like with that trade, them forcing this, like even more favored. Like, how did we lose this game? So we have Fatal Push, which we're going to use on that. Now we have Strix unlocked. So Uro comes out. I can't immediately handle Uro, but like I've got all the tools I need to be able to gradually pick apart Uro. All right. And it's worth noting they're playing almost exactly the same deck as I'm playing here, which is great. Like, I'm happy that it's getting picked up and that other people are playing. I'm not saying that I popularized it. This player was probably playing it before I picked it up. But I just think that this, like, you know, bug control magic is really fun. Okay, so this was the Mirror Breaker here, this Life from the Loam. And if I recall, either during this game or the next game, they just completely devastated. They brought Ruination upon my non-basic land, mana base, Ruination being one of my favorite red cards. Okay, so we've got the, you know, trio, the 3 amigos holding down the fort, but gradually they're going to be able to get creatures out and get favorable trades. And of course, I think it was probably a mistake to like even block one of the Strixes. I should have just held out for a better exchange. If they swing in with I think I did lose a little bit of life to a token, and that's why I bounced the token, because I was worried I was genuinely going to get low in life. All right, so they force this, and I choose not to force here because I've got a Psychic Frog, and I just block. They get Tamiyo out. Tamiyo cannot productively attack in, but they had a Brainstorm effect. So at this point, their hand is probably like 70% lands, 80% lands. So like 4 out of 5 cards being lands. But that's still lands that they can put back when they, you know, cast a Brainstorm and things like that. Yeah. And they just keep loaming. So I'm convinced that Loam absolutely broke open this match for them. And I believe Loam came out in game 3. So this is like a sideboarding thing. Maybe like, so Surgical would be okay in this matchup. I'm not high on Surgical, and I think people overboard it. It's the most overboarded card in history. But I do think that it might be warranted when both Uro and Life from the Loam are leveraging Graveyard Recursion. So we don't have to keep going. This was excruciating long, you know, series of me just getting ground in the dust. This was also a Loam game. And a lot of people really like Loam. I don't like Loam, and I'll tell you why. It takes so much time to Loam, and Loaming is really reactive. Like, if you're not in a deck, like in a specific match like this, where your opponent is able to waste you out of the game because you only have a single basic in your entire deck, and your deck is very mana hungry, and you'll see when I play the Carpet. So what made the difference this game was not the Loam, but the ability to remove Carpet with Witherbloom command. And that's why I advocate for playing 2 Witherbloom commands. So I know this sounds weird, like guy advocating against card that destroyed him. But I genuinely believe that in this match, at least according to my recollection, we're watching it now, we can kind of see for ourselves. I was pretty favored when I resolved this carpet. Now, they were able to play around the carpet for a long time, and they got their own carpet, which now they're favored because carpet's great. But it was that Witherbloom shutting me off mana, and because I would have been able to still execute my game plan eventually, because they do eventually go fetch other lands. But now one of my Witherbloom commands, I believe, was Dazed, and so I have one more Witherbloom command left in my deck to find it. And I think this was a mistake, putting Brazen Borrower in the graveyard, because I think later they play like a creature, and I'm like, oh, I really wish I had a Brazen Borrower for this. Yeah, I think like a Resolved Uro or something. It might have been like if they flipped Tamiyo here. But yeah, like it's fun playing against these players that I think objectively are probably better than me. I mean, we just saw them own the mirror match, because it inspires me and it shows me I still got a long way to grow, a long way to go, a whole lot of growth in terms of my piloting skills. And I don't know how I'm supposed to improve, right? There's not a clear path for me. If somebody presented a roadmap and like, okay, here's what you need to do in this situation, do this, in this situation, do this. The great thing about Legacy is it's pretty underexplored, and there's just a tremendous amount of tacit knowledge. Like, if you watch TK, the world champion or the North American champion, right? If you watch some of these Japanese players, you don't even necessarily see the very small micro decisions. Why do they do that? Why do they do that? The brewing decisions, because in Legacy, it's not like Modern or some of these more solved, quote unquote solved formats. Like people are experimenting a whole lot, and lists do have a lot of like random variations and stuff. Yeah, so they ran me out of cards here, ran me out of lands, and the Psychic Frog, they were going to win the Frog off. Again, total annihilation. I completely lost this. So I would say like this could have been a 4-1, but I still wouldn't be happy with it just because I got completely owned in the mirror. And getting owned in the mirror is the most, the best litmus test of skill. So yeah, I hope you've learned a lot watching me. I'm just going to go ahead and open up the deck one more time so you can see it. Here it is. It's beautiful. I didn't miss the Bowmasters in any match. Like I feel like Bowmasters is out, Baleful Strix is in. Yes, it gets blasted, but usually you've netted the card off it. It felt great. I'm going to keep experimenting with Baleful Strix. The deck was super duper mana hungry. I didn't miss the fact that I didn't have more Wastelands. I probably didn't even use my Wastelands that much. I can only recall a few times where I actually actively used a Wasteland early game. Almost always it was like, okay, we're in the mid game. I'm just going to waste a couple of my opponent's resources, like in that combo matchup. I just like the sheer volume of fetches. Having 9 fetches just feels good. Yeah, there's fetch number 9. It's like kind of hidden down here with the old border. But yeah, like I can't tell you how relieving it is to brainstorm and see a fetch, and how devastating it is to brainstorm and not see a fetch when you really need it. So yeah, I'm all for the 9-8-3 split, I think. Is that what we're doing? Yeah. 3 Wastelands, 9 fetchables, or 8 fetchables, 9 fetches. And that may seem like super minor, like who cares? It's 1 fetch land, but it really does make a difference over the course of many games. And I'm going to be playing a lot more Bug. I really enjoy this archetype, and I hope you will enjoy watching. And I hope you're learning something from watching me play and having a good time. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.